trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. Put a square peg in a round hole, just never seems to fit.
This is Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is Kevin Owens.
Hey, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It is the man, Becky Lynch.
It's Rhea Ripley here, and you're listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Hello and welcome to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling. My name is Lachlan Albert. I'm here on this show despite not being on another show we're about to talk about. I am joined by the full crew tonight. We have the man behind the podcast, Todd Eastman. Todd, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, my friend. We are the show that asks the questions that the other shows say we shouldn't ask the questions about.
That's exactly right. Oh, there's some hard-hitting journalism coming tonight. Let me tell you, people. We're also joined by the brain behind WrestleBrania. It's Jeff Setti. Jeff, always good to see you, mate.
Good to see you, brother. I love this. I love the four of us being together on a Thursday night, kicking off the weekend, and I want to know what that fucking shirt is, Jamie. Before the break, I was like, that's a really cool shirt. Didn't get to ask you, so I'm going to ask you on air.
It's a Scream. Let's watch a scary movie.
Lovely. I couldn't see the writing.
It's always a scary movie with this man, the man behind Pario magazine. It's Jamie Apps. Jamie, a hard-hitting journalist, as we're about to see a little bit later. It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you. I did do a bit of journalism.
Yeah.
In the wise words of Jesse McKay.
Just not hard-hitting, just accurate and pointed.
Yeah. It's
not a scattergun.
Worked hard hitting. No, it's not worked. Start putting that in people's heads. Macho Man Andy Savage says, I watched a pretty scary movie on a rival podcast yesterday. Yeah, we're going to talk about that pretty soon. Don't worry about it. But because we'll touch on it really quickly. Pretty soon, we're going to talk more about ACW, Australian Championship Wrestling, this nonsense with AllStar Wrestling. They went on the same podcast, except they weren't actually on at the same time. And we've, actually got some information that I think is more interesting, some more pointed questions asked, courtesy of Mr. Apps, that we're going to play a little bit later.
Journalism. He journalismed.
That's exactly right. An interview. But we've also got, all the other stuff we normally do. All the news from WWE coming out of Backlash, the news from AEW going into Double or Nothing. We've got, some Best of the Super Juniors to predict. We've got what our predictions were from Backlash. And, most importantly, in my opinion, we're actually reviewing some Australian wrestling because if we're going to have an Australian wrestling podcast, let's talk about some Australian wrestling that's happening, right? So we're talking about Pro Wrestling League's The Fyre Rises, which happened up here in Brizzy a couple of weeks ago. Like we say it all the time, it feels like the news cycle never stops for Aussie wrestling and for wrestling in general, especially with all of this stuff going on around the Australian scene at the moment.
Yeah, it's busy time.
Yes.
So busy that Lachlan decided to go on holiday when he had a show on.
Right in the middle of it. Yeah. Hey, can't help
And the ironic thing is, didn't remember he was going on holiday.
Did not remember, 3 days before, messaged the promoter hey, oops.
Him and I were talking because we were planning on doing, I can't remember what we were planning on recording. We were planning on recording something.
We were planning on doing the pre-show for Pro Wrestling.
Pre-show, yeah.
Oh, we were planning on, we were planning out the pre-show that was on this channel and the Pro Wrestling League channel going into it. And about halfway through planning, he's gone, oh shit, I've just realized I'm on a cruise this weekend. I need to message Jesse. So next 5 minutes later, Jesse messaged me, goes, how do you feel about commentating on this show? I wonder why.
That's straight away.
It was probably like that booked.
Yeah, well, no, he just made me go and do it after the match or during.
But
I did just before we get too far into it, I did like your commentary, Todd. Just to straight up in front, I liked it because it was laid back. There was no one
Yeah, it
waiting
was
for
very
somebody not
loose.
to go through a table and then yell out, "I am the table," with the hopes of making a Botchamania tape. I mean, it was just...
I'm going to get there one of these days, Jeff.
Like, here's the thing, and it has been, God, probably 12 years since I have done, like, play-by-play. So I'm not a play-by-play guy. I'm colour. And that's it. I can't do it. My mind won't let me do it anymore.
For about the first match and a half, it threw me because I was going, "Fuck, Todd, will you call the match?" And then I went, "Actually, it doesn't matter.
I don't know how."
It's kind of fun. Like, I
just do watch-alongs now, Jeff. That's all I do.
And Rosie makes sure you don't do half of those.
Man.
It was good. I liked it.
And I completely agree. And the worst part is we were having technical difficulties. So poor Seb kept getting thrown off on the ring announcing mic because he wasn't in control of it. So the sound booth kept turning it on and off. So he couldn't queue up. So he was constantly trying to tell them what's going on and like, "I need this, I need that." So he would just leave the commentary booth. Which would just leave me and Mitch McCarthy. And if you've ever been with me and Mitch McCarthy, on subject is something we are never.
And Mitch gets a little bit too wrapped up in the actual matches to remember that he has to talk.
I was going to say, the great thing about Mitch McCarthy on commentary is that he does almost no commentary. So it's as good as a solo both half the time. But look, I quite enjoyed the commentary as, you know, a little bit of a change of pace. Obviously, I love doing it. And big shout out to Seb, who has a very thankless job in doing the ring announcing and the commentary and being the person who, like, is running a lot of that sound equipment, even when it's working at its best. So, you know.
100% though. That's why the two of you work well together. Because you cover what he can't cover. I can't do that because it's not the muscle I have. And practice. I haven't worked that muscle out for a long time.
Allow me now to categorically say, despite the state I live in, that was not a knock on Lachlan. I mean, sure, the joke about the Botchamania joke was, but that aside, it was no knock on you. It was just kind of, there was something fresh about it and laid back about it that I really appealed to me, particularly after my medicine. So,
a great point. Yeah, I'm maybe not the commentator for medicine, but to get a bit more to the point, the show we are talking about is Pro Wrestling League's The Fyre Rises, and you can find it for, you'll never believe it, free on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and search for Pro Wrestling League, the channel is at Pro Wrestling League Oz, and the shows go up there for free, so you can watch this one at your leisure. And it kicked off with a tag team match, Strong 94 taking on the Stepdads. The natural one in the chat saying big love for Seb, by the way. Amen. But this opening match I thought was really interesting because it's solidifying the turn that Strong 94 is doing, where they've come off a title run where they went from being baby faces to being tweeners as they were, you know, chased down for the titles by Wakehol's Most Wanted. And this is locking in that turn 2 heel in order to face off against Wakehall down the line. Putting them up against the Stepdads, I think, is just so much fun because I love the Stepdads as a babyface tag team. It's a silly gimmick. It's a bunch of fun. Jeff, what did you think of Strong 94 and the Stepdads mixing it up in tag team action?
Yeah, look, much like yourselves, Lachlan, I've got no complaints on this. I think some of the double team maneuvers were great. The Stepdads are comedy, but then they are still very, very good at wrestling. So their matches are both funny, but also very enjoyable from a bell-to-bell sense. And I like the story the match sort of told, where the Stepdads had this mental thing of, we may not beat these guys, but we're going to push them as far as we can. There was kind of this undercurrent through it. And it was really nice and really well told. I did note at the end, and the camera cut away from it, there was a little bit of handshaking going on at the end. So Strong 94 is still kind of 1 foot in the tweener camp, not complete heels. And I like that because they did get some cheers. Some. So,
yeah, and
I
Alex
really-
Fireheart pointing out that it was a bit interesting how they seemed like they were sort of trying to play Healy early, but the crowd just liked them too much to boo. So they had to lean more into the actual heel tactics as the match went on to make it stick. Jamie, what did you think of this opener with the stepdads in a losing effort to Strong 94?
Yeah, I really liked this. It was a good opener that it gave Strong 94 that rebound win after losing the titles at the last show and putting them back on track to go back for those titles. And I think like that handshake at the end it was probably a good thing because it left them in that tweener thing and it made the things that happened later in the show have even more impact of we are 100% on this side of the fence now.
I just got a quick message. There was no handshakes. What are you talking about?
Maybe Jeff is crazy.
Maybe it's the medicine.
Too much medicine.
Are you sure it wasn't the stepdads handshaking
Dads
with
shaking
each other?
other's hands. Yeah.
That might
Have been it. I just noted handshake and went, oh.
Okay. Well.
Yep. One dose too
Jamie,
much.
why are you saying that?
I was just following on what you said. Come on, mate. I'm being kind. But the stepdads, I think they are a team that really understand their gimmick and role in this spot as well. Like they are pure fun and zaniness, but then their moveset plays into that gimmick as well with the sort of put Renegade over your knee and try and spank him.
Yeah,
thank you. The natural one. There was a handshake in the later tag match, so my me not making notes has come to the fore tonight.
I think I'm getting high with Jeff's medicine.
I like that this led in from the pre-show. So, like, if you were a VIP, then you saw this match getting made because it wasn't advertised. There was nothing to do with that. So, like, you started off the show with like, oh, this match happened on the I might have to get those VIP tickets next time because I don't know what happens on that. I think that's pretty smart when it comes to like booking of the show.
Yeah, it's a good
absolutely.
like upsell to get people to come in early.
Yeah, completely. And we've got a comment in the chat from Andy Savage commenting on the absolute great nick that Big Boy is in at the moment. Renegade really pushing that body biz to the nth degree and looking thick. Moving on to another thick
Medium
lad in
boy.
the form of Bobby Bishop, who had his first match with Trent O'Day in this Best of 7 series to take place across Queensland. This shocked me because to me, the logic in a Best of 7 series is that the heel is up for most of it and the babyface has to chase to get the wins back. So having Bobby win the first one, especially in a quite quick turnaround, was a surprise to me, where it seemed like Trent O'Day had control of the match and then out of nowhere there was a pile driver into a pinfall and Bobby Bishop gets the first win in the Best of 7. It did lead into some fun post-match nonsense with Trent O'Day demolishing a cameraman who was filming him at ringside. And
I did journalism.
You did journalism there for sure.
Yes.
There's not much that I have to add to this match because I've talked specifically about both Bobby and Trent till the cows come home. I don't need to make my thoughts on either of them any more known. But I did find it surprising that was the way the first match went. I'm going to be shocked if the next 3 don't immediately go Trent's way to kind of build up that side of the story, but we'll see what happens. Todd, what did you think of Bishop and O'Day in their first of this Best of 7 series?
I like the fact that it was so quick. I also like the fact that it was done by like Bobby got the win, but at what cost? Like, because his arm was like totaled, and like if you watch Bobby, loves his lariats, loves like all of that sort of stuff, and Trent's finisher is that like bicep slicer almost, that whatever that thing's called. You would know because you know how to call moves, Lucky. And you could tell by the commentary that like we really didn't think it was that like we were just settling into the match when we realized he hit the pile driver. And I'm like, in my head, he hit the pile driver, and I was just like, why is he kicking? Why are they going to have him kick out of a pile driver this quick in the match? Yep. And then when he didn't, I was like, okay. Oh, yeah.
Now, this is really important. Sorry, one sec, Jeff. The future shock. AU in the chat needs to ask the hard-hitting questions. Who looks older, him or Bobby?
Well, if you ask a whole group of people in the Gold Coast, they were split.
Straight down the middle.
There was some definite arguments.
There you go, mate.
A couple of brewskis deep. Bobby looks older for sure. Jamie, what did you think of this first in the best of 7 series between Bobby Bishop and Trent O'Day?
I was the same. I was kind of taken aback by how quickly this finished. But on reflection, I think it works really well because it was leading into this. Trent was incredibly sort of cocky and feeling like this was just going to be a walkover in this best of 7. Whereas Bobby was coming in mega fired up, and it sort of plays into that where he came in ready to go and Trent kind of wasn't prepared for what Bobby was bringing. So I think that works into the storyline of, Bobby can get that quick win and then moving along, Trent can get more deranged and savage as the series progresses.
Trent wasn't angry so much as he was kind of happy that he lured him into it.
Yeah.
Whereas Bobby was just mad that he was back.
I kind of like, as Todd and Jamie do, I think there is sense to Trent winning to Bobby winning the first one because you want to see what Trent's going to do in reaction to it and what he's going to bring out next time. And I also think the match was very short, yes, but you still got enough of an impression of what these guys will do to defeat each other and the lengths they'll go to defeat each other. So I'm kind of, from, someone who's probably not going to see any of these matches live, unfortunately, I'm intrigued as to see the steps that are taken over the next 4 to 6 months while the next, 6 matches are played out. I'm really intrigued to see where it can go.
Yeah. And then, also like the idea of protecting your finisher, which we spoke about on the last show.
Yeah.
They protected this pile driver, so now if Bobby hits it again in future matches, you think, oh well, this is a legitimate. It's not his regular finish, but it's a legitimate finish.
Well, it's been his finish for a while now. This pile driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see, Todd, that you've dropped in the chat this video about Trent's momentum going forward. So
He's on a warpath. Trent O'Day, don't get involved. Yep, silly idea. Let the big boys play.
Trent O'Day has been eliminated.
I want it to be known by the court. I did not do that one, Trent.
I could not help myself. I'm sorry. I'm working heel, boys. It's coming out.
Well, I'll say it'll make Trent happy. He was clearly feeling himself on the entrance for this, coming down with the straps already down.
The straps did not even go up.
He's like, look at this. I've been putting in the work. Look at this.
Trent's made a comment that I'm sure you can all imagine. One word, bullshit.
Yeah.
See, Trent, that wasn't me. That wasn't me, Trent.
He'll say that.
Next time attack.
You threw to it, you moron.
Cameraman.
We'll get the popcorn, Jamie. Don't worry.
Moving on to a triple threat match here with Billy Mack, Eugenie, and Christina Cade, kind of defining the women's division in Pro Wrestling League as it stands at the moment. Eugenie managing to get the win on this one. I'll throw to Jeff first. What did you think of this triple threat match between Cade, Mack, and Eugenie?
This was also quite quick. Is just the brief observation I would like to make. That lovely cut off by Eugenie when Billy Mack laughed and went to run in and Eugenie just walloped her. It was a great piece of work in the context and the story of the match. I thought this was terrific. Jenny looks dominant. Christina looks like a fighter, and Billy Mack's heel turn is chef kiss good. What's not to like? It held together quite well, and it was a lovely little match.
Yeah, Todd, your
Jeff,
thoughts on this one?
did any of them handshake? Is what we need to know.
Yeah, they all handshaked, Todd.
Okay, good. No, good to see. Good to see.
Good.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I did enjoy this match. I think they if anything, this match kind of like defined what their three characters are going to be going forward.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Eugenie's going to be that just straight up bulldozer, whereas like Christina's the underground, like underneath fighter, the underdog, gets so close to winning and then just doesn't. Like, so constantly going to be going, get over the hump, like cheering her on to get over that hump. The biggest thing with that is just like juggling how long you let that happen before the crowd give up on her.
Yeah.
Getting over that hump. So that is a fine art, a fine juggling act, which I'm sure they're working on and understanding what they're going to do with it. Billy Mack she's good because she realizes there is a crowd, and she works that crowd. So that's where her strengths really come in when it comes to that sort of thing. Not that she's not like good in ring, she is, but her strengths really are working that crowd.
Yeah, and Macho Man Andy Savage, says exactly that, Todd. Billy is going to do just fine as a heel. I love a heel who is loud and funny during the match. She was amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's where I love the partnership that she's had with Eugenie over the last few months, 6 months or so now, in the OPW women's tags, because Billy's character work, I think, is rubbing off on Eugenie. Like we've all said that Eugenie's in-ring has always been up there, but now I think she's being able to show a bit more personality and character, and it's coming through in the work a lot more, especially in this match. Like she felt more of a character. And yeah, I liked the finishing stretch as well that gave Billy a legitimate gripe to continue having an issue with these other two moving forward, because she was taken out by the ref bump. So she can be like, well, I was never actually pinned, so I want a chance at Eugenie one-on-one, or I want a chance at Christina one-on-one. And like, I like the women's division that they're building there, and hopefully maybe another title gets introduced down the line.
Yeah, I am just hoping that, like, because obviously this is the version with the three of these women in one match, and we've got all the permutations of the one-on-one matches with those three. I am really hoping that, you know, that kind of women's roster expands to give some more interesting matchups that we haven't seen before for all of those women, because these three are clear showcase pieces for the women's division in Pro Wrestling League. I am just concerned that there needs to be a little more on the table show to show in terms of the variety of their matchups, because again, they're all very good, but I am also aware that there's only so much we can see the three of them do together. So I'm looking.
Yeah, it's hard to have a division with only three people.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
But saying that, any of the three of them, I mean, we've already seen Eugenie in other places. Both Christina and Billy Mack are ready for pretty much anywhere. Like you could put Billy's heel act in front of any crowd and they get who she is in seconds. You could put Eugenie out there as a face or a heel and they get who she is in seconds. And you could put Christina Cade, and the idea just hit me that Christina Cade against Erica Reed would be amazing. Done.
Yeah,
like
phenomenal stuff.
Lock it away.
Yeah, the kind of fourth piece that often comes into play is Kyla Knight, and that's good. But again, like 4 is a good number. I would really love to see 5 or 6. So I am hoping that either we see some more women coming up through training who can fill those spots, or there's some more people brought in to just flesh out the variety that we're seeing in those matchups. Because the matches are great, and I want to make sure that we're not just seeing the same great matches over and over, you know?
Yep.
Speaking of, you know, people being brought in, there was Jesse Daniels trying to bring in Outback Adam, somebody who has not been seen at PWL for a while, other than one brief appearance. After attacking some masked wrestlers, he came out to call out Adam again. Humanity made an appearance, looking incredibly thick. He must be on the body biz, I reckon. Humanity looking in the best shape of his career. But Daniels just immediately took him out and was about to unmask Humanity. Has Jesse Daniels unmasked Humanity before? That's in my head for some reason. But Outback Adam showed up to make the save, and we got a one-on-one match between Adam and Jesse Daniels, which Adam won before confirming his retirement from Pro Wrestling League with a bit of a speech. I liked this match a lot. My feeling about the flow of this one in the show is it's a bit strange because we had Adam's retirement about a year and a half ago, and then he showed up about a few months ago in the main event of a big match, and then there's been this story about Jesse trying to get him back, and we had the match, and then we had a retirement. So really he's had one appearance and one match since he had a retirement to then doing his retirement speech, which
wrestling retirements are never 100%.
Well, I mean, technically it wasn't a retirement. He's like, I might be back one day.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't say I'm going away, I'm done, that's it. Whereas the last time it was, he was done.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that he's, got the ability to still go, because this was a really impressive match considering how little he's worked in recent months/years. But yeah, I love Outback Adam, so it is frustrating to me that if the last 3 times we've seen him, 2 of them have been retirement speeches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's good at them.
He is good
better
at them
every time. But
And the return was a massive pop too.
Yeah.
And I mean, that could be part of it. Like, people could be approaching him, when he's on the street doing whatever, going, oh, when are you coming back? And it must get to be a bit tired. So he probably wants to set the record straight, because he came back for the pop and the moment and was part of that great match last year. And so he's still probably getting asked over Christmas, New Year. So he's like, all right, I'll do it one more time and actually spell it out that I'm not coming back as a full-time wrestler. I'm done.
Do you know what I think it is? I think he loves wrestling, but he is not in love with wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to do this, like, as much as
sporadically,
you need to be in love with wrestling. He needs to be in love with an idea that he wants to do. So, like props to him for recognizing that and not just being like hamster on a wheel. This is what I'm going to keep doing, and blah, blah, blah. Aside from that, the match I thought was brilliant. Oh, it's such a good match, especially for a dude that has wrestled like once, and not even really, because that was kind of a cameo in that Grindhouse match. So, like, he hadn't wrestled a full match in, probably 2 years.
Yeah.
So, to come out and really not look like he'd missed a beat, like, everything was on point. I think he did really, really well.
I also think that Daniel's promo here did a good job at, a lot of the times the Jesse Daniels promos can run a little bit long. I felt like this one got to the point, and then we got the match out of it, which I really appreciated. Jamie, your thoughts on this Outback Adam Jesse Daniels match?
I basically just had one note. Thoroughly sports entertained. I thought the whole segment as a package was really well done. And this match had my favorite line of commentary from Todd and Mitch. When Todd asked Mitch, "You're the general manager, what do you do?" And Mitch's response was, "General stuff."
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, classic stuff. I think the other reason that I might have felt like the speech was a little bit oddly paced at the end here is just that it did go from a Jesse Daniels promo into a match, into an Outback Adam promo. And then the next thing we see watching on YouTube is another promo segment, which I assume there was probably an intermission here if you were in the building.
You are correct, sir.
But in the YouTube version of this, it does kind of go promo match, promo, and it's all clumped together in the middle, which is a bit interesting. But I was very impressed with the promo that Ned Balm was involved in. Journalist here in Queensland who is obviously a wrestling fan and coming out to work with Zeke Andino. He demolished this in a way that I was not expecting at all, going straight into the heel shtick to simp for Andino and present him with that new interstate title. Immediately signing an autograph when a piece of paper was placed in front of him before finding out that what he signed was his entrance into the Purge Rumble at the next show, which the only possible criticism I have for Ned here is that at the end, he could not keep the smile off his face, which, like, I totally get, right? Because he was fully into the sports entertainment vibe here. And in that situation, it's hard to stop smiling. But he's the heel going what? How dare you do this to me? With a big old grin on his face. Credit to the guy. That's the one thing I'd say work on for next time, because everything else he nailed here. Jeff, what did you think of this segment with Ned Balm presenting the new interstate title to Zeke Andino?
Okay, for a start, I've never heard of Ned Balm. I obviously
he does. He does Weekend Today as well, like spots on Weekend Today and
still
like today on Channel 9, and like he does a fair bit of stuff, not just in like on Queensland News. So he has been a fair, and pretty much anytime there's a wrestling thing, he's the guy that's doing the interview. Because like he did all
the Channel 9 stuff for AEW.
Yeah, it was Channel 7 and Channel 9. So he, like, when he moved stations, he kept the wrestling gig going. So like that's how I met him. I met him ages ago. Like I think it was the Big Show thing.
But you could see he really respects the business and he loves the industry, and he's treating it very, very respectfully. He walked out there to booze because obviously a Channel 9 journalist is going to get booed. Got the crowd on side and then turned heel immaculately. Really nice work. I agree. You couldn't wipe the grin off his face when he's going, "What? No, you can't do this to me." Which was a bit strange. Zeke played his part perfectly, and I hope they keep these guys together. I hope they get them to do more, because there's something funny but yet ominous about this pairing that I'd like to see more of.
I'm pitching that he does like a Daniel Pewter bit in the Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, let him do the pewter.
Just the he's pewter.
He's going to get chopped to shit. But it'll be fun, and I thought this was good, and the new belt looks great. Really like that new belt. Yeah.
Jamie, what did you think of this segment between Ned Balm and Zeke Andino?
I loved all of this. I am not surprised that Ned can talk. Like, of course he can. That's his entire job. But I think he did a great job of not only getting his character across, obviously with him being a character slightly moving forward, but he did a great job of hyping up Zeke as well. Like, he put the guy that he's working with over as the next big thing to give him this new incredible title belt. My one thing is, I wish the belt had been either covered on a table or a platform or in a bag until he handed it over to get that reveal moment. And Zeke, I love the spoiled rich kid character of my mom and dad, and he kept calling him daddy, makes a lot of money, and they gave me a little bit of like, oh, everybody wants to punch you in the face now, Zeke. And then, the idea of Mitch using the pair of them's arrogance to trick Ned into signing up for that Purge Rumble was perfectly done. Loved all of it.
Todd, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no, the boys covered it perfectly well.
Yeah.
That was it was a great start. Like, I had notes from in the back, but that was just all just like silly positioning notes. But that was about it. Like I said, everything else he did was great.
Yeah. Yeah, really impressed there. And with that new interstate title belt, there needs to be a new challenger for it. And the number one contendership was on the line in what could have just about been called the Lachlan Albert Invitational with these names. This one included Andre Irons, Craven, DC Dante, BK Calloway, Sam Cannon, and Logan Pierce. A lot of guys there who I keep going, oh, they're one of the best. This one had Andre Irons come out with the win after finally hitting a brain buster. I am so impressed with all of these guys consistently. I think DC Dante, for how fresh he is to the game, that dude has it in spades. And him hitting that big finisher kick, I loved it. Calloway is everything you want from a big man. Sam Cannon is somehow also a big man despite moving the way he does. He's a freak. Craven is, and storyline wise, Craven makes so much sense being here after holding that title for so long. Logan Pierce, character wise, I think is just fantastic. He's so threatening, and I'm excited to see more of that going forward.
Also deceptively tall.
He's so tall.
I didn't realize how tall he was until he stood next to BK Calloway. I was like, oh, whoa. Hang on.
Yeah, no, he's massive. And he's in incredible shape at the moment as well. And Andre Irons, I can't say enough good things about, as the fact that he can pivot from heel to face, and you would just assume that he's never been on the other side of the divide the way he does it. Like the Good Boys Inc. shtick, which is mostly just who he is. He's a goofball. Coming out, calling for the brain busters. I love it. And I think he's going to be an excellent challenger for that interstate title. I'll pass it over to Todd. What did you think of this 6-way match for the interstate contendership?
Well, you know me, I'm not a massive fan of these types of matches just because it's hard to tell stories. But I think they did a really good job of highlighting most of the guys' strengths in different spots. The fact that putting over the fact that Sam just is an absolute beast, and it takes takes more than one guy to take him down. Do you know what I mean? It would have taken the 5 other guys just to make sure he couldn't get the win in this one. You were 100% right. I think there's so much upside in BK Calloway, so much upside in, and he's only just starting to realize that, which is great to see. Dante is very, very, very young in his career, but you can see, because he has a good head on his shoulders, you can see he's got that capacity to get so much better. Andre was the perfect choice to win this, because it's just they would have probably strapped the Rock to him as the Good Boys, but the fact that unfortunately Bones got the injury he got, having to pivot, but then pivoting with Andre and having him in this role is just perfect for him to just I don't want to say to bide his time until Bones comes back, but it's good to keep him occupied.
Yeah, it keeps his momentum going. It's not just this injury, everything stops.
Yes.
And it's kind of nice because Andre Irons is not a wrestler you don't want on a show. You want that guy on your shows as much as you can have him, because he's a different kind of wrestler. There's something unique about Andre.
He's got the personality too.
He's legitimately a cool guy.
His personality jumps across, which you can't teach that stuff. So
I want to see I want to see a tag team of Solomon and Andre Irons, because it's 2 of the coolest people walking the planet. I don't think the world could handle that.
And almost for opposite reasons.
That's too cool.
Yeah. It's Solomon's so cool because he just is so chill, and Andre's cool because he's he loves everything. And it's just that yeah. I want to see Andre
and also
Solomon again.
Just to finish up too, I'd like to see Logan get sort of sort of like a featured singles where we can really see what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need Logan in some sort of longer term storyline where he can sink his sort of character work into it and get that character across, because I think I know he has a lot of things bubbling around in his brain that would make for really compelling stories. He just needs that bit of trust and time to be able to tell those stories.
And I'm really impressed by DC Dante when I see him. He's growing into the character of like I'm going to say Sicilian shooter. I know that's not quite right, but he's growing into
Sardinian striker. You got close.
Sardinian striker. The Sicilian shooter was Nunzio Guido. So the Sardinian striker, he's really growing into that. Apologies, DC. You didn't shake hands with anyone either. But he's really growing into that.
He just kicks everyone in the face.
I think it's working, and I'm loving the gimmick, and I hope that he gets a bit more of a feature as well. But I think that consistent here is all of these guys deserve a feature. There's no one in this match where you can go, I don't want to see more of them.
Yeah, it's also the fact that, like, I think when DC first started, the match that we had at a showcase, like a student showcase, he had a match with Mitch. And he was trying a lot of lucha stuff and that stuff like. And I think afterwards, like, why are you doing that, bro? You're a legitimate like fighter. Why aren't you using that as your thing? Because that's what you're good at. That's what you look great when you kick. You look great when you do all that stuff. Like, focus in on that. It's cool that if you want to do Rana and you want to do all that shit, you don't need to. Like, that's a special occasions pull-out thing.
And that's what makes him so special for me, because, like, I think if he can talk, he's going to be a very special performer, but, like, just the way he moves and how technically sound he is because of that shoot-fight background makes him so unique just visually when he gets in there and does some stuff, because you go, nobody else does that like that. So that is DC.
Exactly, and that's kind of my thing. Like everyone else, like everyone else wants to be a wrestler. Like, why wouldn't you go the opposite way and like, I'm a fighter?
And even if he doesn't get, even if he's not the best talker in the world, there's something incredibly intimidating about somebody who doesn't say anything but goes in the ring and kicks your fucking head in. And I mean, yes, that does mean that I do want to hear one of my favorite wrestling chants, which has only ever been said at a few, which is, you're going to get your fucking head kicked in. Brilliant.
I will throw out that I just checked the date. 10 months ago was his first match in front of people, DC Dante.
Yeah, how's that?
Crazy.
Super good.
And that's what I think this match did for me, was it really showed the depth of the PWL roster. It's not, we've got 3 or 4 guys at the top, and then we're kind of threadbare throughout. Like, look at the people on this card. Mitch Ryder wasn't even on this show.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a big name to not have on the show.
Yeah. But it wasn't,
no Ryder, no
there was
Black
no
Hole.
one in this match where you're going, oh, so-and-so's out of place. So-and-so, we can see that this person's got to be carried a little. No. They were all amazing.
I legitimately thought anybody could win,
which
is rare in a 6-man scramble.
And Alex Fireheart says it well here. He says, they say, sorry, Alex, my main takeaway from this match is they had no clue who would win beyond probably none of the heels, and how refreshing that felt. 100% correct, Alex.
Yeah, and Wild Angel also nailing it just on the topic of DC Dante, saying one of my favorite promos of the year was DC Dante on Chris Dink about the match for War. Never been so scared in my life. Yeah, that was terrifying. Like, so many good all-rounders here, I think, really putting together an exciting contendership scene for that title. But moving on to talk about another title, which is the Pro Wrestling League Tag Team Championship. This one on the line between Wakehol's Most Wanted and the Monstars, with the important stipulation here that Wakehol's Most Wanted had signed a contract saying if they didn't win this match, they would never challenge for the Tag Team Championships again. And this match was pillar to post action. Wakehol's Most Wanted, Tar and Cockroach just absolutely throwing themselves at everything. And the Monstars of Rip Riley and Jake Nova are just such a great, established, experienced, professional, hard-hitting team that it, was it presented a big challenge for Wakehall, but something that the fans felt they could overcome if they pushed, if they just could do it. So for the end to come, when Strong 94 interfered, Renegade ringing the ring bell as a distraction, JJ popping up with the steel chair, looking like he's going to hit one member of Wakehall's, but turning around, slapping a member of Monstars with the chair, meaning that Monstars win by DQ. So Wakehall's lose. They will never be able to challenge again. Strong 94 basically saying you can have those titles over our dead bodies. You're never getting the shot. Sucks to suck. Then leading to, the show of respect in the ring between Monstars and Wakehall's Most Wanted that Jeff was so excited to mention. He had to mention it in the first match. I think the storytelling here was really interesting and exciting. And the never challenge for a title again is a stipulation that I think is a bit rough, because the idea that Wakehall's never challenge for that belt again, in 12 months' time, if you've only got 2 healthy tag teams on the roster, you can't do it because you've said they're never going to challenge again.
Unless you're doing this stipulation where you've got an out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like down the line, you have an idea of what your out will be. So hey, let's do this now because we have an out.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's especially intelligent if one of Wakehall's needs a little bit of time off, because then the crowd, things will go on, stuff will happen. Say Cockroach needs some time off, and the other wrestler, the other his partner can go and wrestle in singles. Sorry,
Tar
can go and wrestle in singles while Cockroach has a break. And then they come back, they do a match, they win the match. Oh, they get to challenge for the titles again because they beat so-and-so. It's announced as a match to get them to, there's so many outs they can do in this, Lachlan. I think you're being a bit petty almost about.
It's a legitimate question because it's the same thing we questioned about AEW with Hangman. Why are you doing this unless you have an out, unless you know what you're going to do down the line? So, and the difference is, I have a feeling that Pro League have an idea what they're going to do down the line, where I don't know that so much that Tony Khan did or does. Do you know what I mean?
And the build for just a proper one-on-one Strong 94 versus Wakehall's Most Wanted is through the roof at the moment. Everyone
just
wants
a straight up grudge match. There's no championships on it, and that was the thing I liked. It gets both of those teams away from the titles for a bit to go and feud over here, and then the titles can be over here.
But then also he did the thing where they've done that and they cost them the chance of ever winning the titles again, right? But in doing that, he hit Jake with a chair, so Jake's going to want his comeuppance. Yeah. Jake's going to want to get back, so that gets him a title shot again. It's smart on both levels, I think, for that.
Yeah. And Alex Fireheart nails it, saying, at first I was like, wait, if JJ just hit Cockroach, they would have won but not won the titles. Then realizing pretty quickly the logic was this way they both don't win and don't get another shot. It's a really clever way to move that story forward.
The ultimate cementing that Strong 94 are bad guys now.
Yeah.
And I loved it. One of the commentators, I think it was even you, Todd, mentioned what Alex has just said. It's a really smart heel maneuver to just come off as intelligent and smarmy and smug. It was great.
I don't know. Young Rock
Valentinte here saying, what if Wakehall win the Purge? Does that negate the contract?
Look, it's a great question, and I know their general manager doesn't know what he's doing, so who knows? He can just generally say...
Generally, I think this.
I think generally that's probably the right idea. Especially when, I don't know if you remember this, but, during this match at the start, I questioned him about that stipulation, saying the crowd didn't really like that. And he goes, yeah, I thought about that too. Now I don't know if that was the right call. I'm just like, what are you doing?
Stop talking. Just dig up.
But I do also want to mention how good the match itself was. It was a great match. It was an absolute banger. And that ended with a handshake. That one did. But it was a really nice piece of work from both teams. The near falls were great. The double team maneuvers were great. They both went out to win and hit hard. And then the shenanigans at the end was kind of the icing on a cake, you know, in sort of a hard hitting way. Loved it.
I did have one little issue though.
Issue.
The same thing. Protect your finish. Why is Cockroach kicking out of Rip's pile driver while being double pinned?
Because he's a cockroach. You can't kill a cockroach, mate.
Yeah, no, but like,
it's hard to kill a cockroach.
I would have been fine if Jack Tar broke it up. It's like, or if it was only one of them pinning him. But when they were both pinning him, I'm like,
you know what though?
It's even worse.
It's hard to jack for C to see if someone's pinning somebody because like you have one eye.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying, Jamie, but I also think like because we were having this conversation recently, and what we said was, you know, save it for the big matches, those big moments, the when you win the title moments. And for me, as a viewer, that added to, oh, this is the moment. He's kicking out of everything. They're gonna do it. Yeah. And then Strong 94 gets like that. I agree with what you're saying, but in this instance, it really worked for me.
Makes sense.
The other thing that I'll say is that I like that the Strong 94 Waycalls feud is kind of the marquee tag feud at the moment, because it means with Monstars, you can either give them whichever tag team you're looking to build, you know, have them win against, or have them go and do singles stuff. Because like, what about, you know, Alex Yeet Stevens defending the title against Jake Nova as the main event of a show? And that way your tag titles don't have to be defended. You've got Strong 94 Waycalls as your tag showcase, and you can have one of the tag champs in a big match. Like, there's a lot of options there now that we've got stuff to focus on in the tag division that's not just the titles, which I really like. Speaking of champion Alex Yeet Stevens, the Pro Wrestling League Championship on the line, Stevens having to defend against not just the number one contender Jesse Love, who won the shot at the last show, but the man who couldn't earn that shot at the last show, Jackson Cross, in a triple threat of guys who are just so big. Like, these are just big men. Stevens and Cross are like a funhouse mirror of each other. They're the same dude in a different font. I think Jackson Cross might be one of the most underrated main eventers going around. He is so good at what he does, and he looks convincing in that role every time. Jesse Love, you know, showed us in OPW when we watched that last week that he knows how to be this, you know, world championship level performer. I think Alex Stevens is just kind of the perfect John Cena style babyface champion at the moment. When he gets into that fifth gear, when he really gets rolling, he's a really exciting wrestler to watch, and the crowd is right behind him. The one thing that Todd didn't do that on commentary that you're supposed to do during a Stevens match is Simpsons references. So I know he's going to be upset at you that there were no Simpsons references in this match, Todd. That's a must. But overall, I thought that this was exactly what you need from a main event with big men fighting for a title.
If he has
Todd was too busy getting over the fact that Jesse's afraid of ringers.
Yes.
Go on, Todd. If I have a problem with it.
No. If Yeet has a problem with it, I have a client. Give him a title shot, and we'll talk about it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and Alex Fireheart talking about Jackson Cross, saying that at first they legitimately thought, oh, Yeet got a new look and music, only to realize it was not Yeet. So that's a lot of fun. Jamie, what did you think of this main event for the PWL Championship?
I like this for a first defense for Yeet, because it's like two big, legit dudes that he's defending against. When you look at either of those guys, go, yeah, they could take this belt, even though it's his first defense. It wouldn't be that shocking that they did it. I loved that Jesse is scared of gingers, and then 2 gingers come out to fight him. He's awesome. And then Jackson, I thought he didn't look out of place at all, and given the severity of the injury that he had at the last show that prevented him getting the title shot at that show, he could have very easily been sort of tentative and hesitant with things. And I don't think that showed. I think he came out of this looking $1 million. And then the use of Jazzy at the finish, given the 3-way rules, I thought was really well done as well.
Do you want to know the scary thing about it, right? Because he had a slip up and had to go to the ER because he thought he'd had a stinger at the last show. They did an X-ray on his neck, and they said, "Oh no, you broke your neck like 3 years ago. It's healed."
Yeah.
He didn't know he had a broken neck.
Kurt Angle business.
Yeah, but he did not know he'd had one, and it had healed itself. So, but I thought, you know what's scary though? It is scary when you go, there was a 3-way match for the PWL Championship, and Jesse Love was the small guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wild. Jeff, what did you think of this PWL Championship main event?
Thank you for asking, Winding's Mike Adamley. I love this. I thought this was a really
it was the different font thing I said before, Jamie. He had that in.
Well, I got it. I understood the reference.
Go on, Jeff.
It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but remember who you're talking to. Look at what I do. I've got a show about wrestling and video games and weird shit. Anyway.
You don't have one about board games.
Yeah, that was suggested today, wasn't it, Lachlan?
No comment.
I think that this was also a really, really good use of all 3 of them. Commentary spoke up a little bit of doubt really well. You know that maybe Alex doesn't have. Oh, piss off, Todd. Maybe Alex doesn't have what it takes. Thank you to defend the belt successfully. Jazzy was great in her role. I really like the use of her, sparingly. They didn't overplay that. Yeah, just really, really nice match. A good main event. And you kind of want to see what's next for Alex Stevens.
Yeah, Alex Fireheart raises a good point as well. Given that Jackson Cross didn't get pinned, Alex would be down for Alex Stevens versus Jackson Cross in a singles for the title. I do like that storyline of, hey, I had a number 1 contendership match. I didn't lose it. Then I had a title match. I didn't lose it. I still haven't been beaten. Like that, there's a story there. And again, I think those 2 work phenomenally together as well. Overall, it's nice for me to watch a PWL show on YouTube because it is free on YouTube. And this was my chance to get to watch it there for the first time rather than being in the building. And I had a really good time with this show. I think there was a lot of variance up and down the card with doing different stuff, from character stuff to big multi-mans to singles to ongoing stories to one-offs. I thought this was just an absolute blast. Todd, obviously you were in the building. What are your overall thoughts for The Fyre Rises?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It's the feeling in the crowd for the Outback and Jesse match, considering it was something that really wasn't booked or advertised, there was a palpable feeling when they're in the crowd, and that says something about it, what the connection that Adam had or does have with that Pro Wrestling League crowd that comes in. Also, it was I think it was the fourth sellout in a row, and every time those crowds then there's never really a point where those crowds are bored, if you know what I mean. They're always up for it. There was a really, really good crowd to not only to perform for, but to just to get in front of. So, and when you've got crowds like that, when you have those reactions, when you get the feeling, you can't explain the feeling. I can't explain the feeling. When you get that, you just want to do more for it. You want to work harder. You want to do that. So you're always going to get good shows when you get good crowds.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff, what were your thoughts on PWL The Fyre Rises?
PWL are just striking gold at the moment for me. Like, I seriously can't remember the last time I thought one of their shows were even approaching underwhelming. These are great shows. I did, as I said, like the commentary team. I did like the work you did, Todd. It was a bit understated and kind of funny. You were constantly trying to pop your other commentators as you do with us here, so it was kind of sweet to hear that.
Because all I've been doing is watch-alongs. I'm telling you now, this is what it was. I didn't realize this until I watched back the show. I'm like, I'm just doing a fucking watch-along here.
But it didn't matter. Like, it was kind of nice.
Yeah. It felt like old pro wrestling Gorilla.
Yeah, I get that. I do understand. I can understand that.
And that's kind of cool. Like, for me, they're one of the companies that I love a hell of a lot, is that old PWG. So yeah, just I thought that was great. The show itself, as Lachlan mentioned, lots of variety, lots of stuff. Rosie's just popped in to say he doesn't trust commentators. Rosie, it's just you we don't trust, but the world will recover. So I think
I've turned the corner on Rosie. He's now my watch along like co-host. So I've turned the corner on the lad. Don't try that gimmick here. Don't try that gimmick here. Don't put it up, Rosie. Lachlan. Don't show it.
But yeah, great show. Great show.
Moved at a hell of a
even
clip
know
too.
the Baha, man.
Like this,
Yeah,
this
it did
show,
move at a pace.
I was like watching it and I'm like, oh my god, we're like halfway through the card already. What's happening?
Yeah. It was quick.
Which is good. That's a good thing when you're watching a show and you're like, oh wow, I'm an hour into this show already.
Yeah. And like, I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed doing, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I enjoyed doing the pre-show because I think it just adds, for us here at Wrestle Radio Australia to be able to do that with companies, I think it just adds something to, like a little, just something that other promotions don't have.
Yeah, and being on the outside of it for the first one, I really enjoyed that pre-show as well. I thought it was a ton of fun. So
good, because you are hosting the next one.
Oh, goody.
I'm not doing it
So
anymore.
it's a great intro if you haven't like been keeping up super closely to all of the stories to really get caught up before the show begins.
Yeah, so obviously, like, it is a big recommendation from all of us to go on over to YouTube, search for Pro Wrestling League, watch The Fyre Rises. And if you're up here in Brisbane on the 20th of June, you've got the chance to see The Purge, which is going to be the 2-ring rumble nonsense chaos extravaganza that's going to go on at the Kedron Wavell Services Club. Get your tickets for that. I would say now, considering how quickly those previous shows have sold out, if you don't get on it soon, you're not going to get one.
I'll be honest with you. I think it's. You keep talking. I'm going to check and see how they.
No, I've got it now. I've got it now. There's nothing on the left of the ring, nothing on the right of the ring. There's only 4 rows where you can buy tickets in the back. It's selling out. That's going to be a sellout.
That's insane. That's a 2-ring show though, too.
It's over a month away, and there's maybe 30 seats left. Like, get on it. Just quickly, New Zealand Everton fan wants to interrupt to ask about Oz Wrestling cards potentially having numbered auto cards or, numbered sticker cards, maybe, Jamie. We've got fans for the Oz Wrestling cards, it seems.
I have done the numbered autographs before. Oh my god, that increases the price insanely. So probably not unless we're going to sell a heap of them. And then like everyone's so far away, it's hard to get people to come in and autograph cards.
Rosie's think chipped in with that he'd like to get his Chris and Rose Oz Wrestling card graded D-.
Wow.
Very good.
Look, they are the best commentary team in the country. Let's just be straight out there. I'm doing watch-alongs live, and they're doing commentary. There's a difference.
Yeah, no, they're the dream team, obviously. Look, this is Oz Wrestling, right? This is what's going on in Australia these days. It's absolutely non-stop. So while we're on Australian wrestling news, Oh boy, the story that never ends. ACW and AllStar. Todd, can you keep us up to date? Because I'm struggling.
Yeah, well, there was a podcast out this week, which I don't know. Like looking into it with the advertisement, I thought it was actually going to be the two owners talking at the same time, not two separate.
So to clarify, this is All Star Wrestling and AC and Australian Championship Wrestling, who have originally Australian Championship Wrestling reported that they had purchased All Star. Then there has been some kind of falling out and reports of $20,000 spent on an All-Star show by Australian Championship Wrestling, etc., etc.
On production, etc. We kind of what we covered last week when we read out the two statements from the two different companies. So I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched the podcast because it was just I can't just nothing against Don. I love Don, but it's just I couldn't. A big, huge one of where are we going here? Big one of these. To our good friend up in the top corner there, Jamie Apps. He watched it, he listened to it, so we didn't have to, and he took some notes. And Jamie, have you got some notes there? Just pick a couple of notes you want to talk about from the two, because there were two separate interviews. It wasn't like, because they had it like ACW versus All Star, and it wasn't that at all. It was two separate interviews with both owners of the companies. So Jamie, take it away, my friend. What did you learn?
So basically it was the two owners presenting their sides of the story separately. Basically what we got out of it was that this merger was never a real sale. It was a work storyline pitched by Hassan, the owner of ACW, to Mitch, the owner of All Star Wrestling, which obviously has then since fallen apart as a partnership as well. There were claims that there was an agreement, a contract in place that has since been confirmed by both to have been written by ChatGPT and really not as solid and watertight as it should have been in a purchasing agreement.
Or even just a partnership agreement.
Yeah, any sort of partnership agreement. There was things that were not listed that one side thought was listed and vice versa. All Star was never intending to fully close the company. They were simply going to take a hiatus after Mitch started to feel some burnout. They were still going to continue their regional bookings, which they had through until 2027, so next year. And the tag titles are currently being held up by ACW. The All-Star tag titles are currently in possession of ACW with the intention of using them on their June 20th show against Mitch's will, with ACW saying that they will return those belts after said show. And we've all seen how somebody using your belt on a show can go wrong elsewhere.
Yeah, true.
And then just listening to Hassan's side, there were a lot of inconsistencies as well with stats, facts, figures, ticket sale, revenue. So there was a lot of things that we are, as a show, looking to get some clarity on from both sides.
Yeah.
Can I jump in there, Jamie, and just confirm? They've talked about a number of tickets that have already been sold. Having a look, I haven't found a way to purchase tickets. Was there any clarity on what that situation is?
Well, that's because we haven't actually. Well, in the podcast there wasn't, but that's one of the things that we want. We're trying to, at the moment, we are trying to get in where we are. We're in negotiations with talking to Hassan. Because at the end of this podcast, there was a lot of things where they just sort of like blasted right past it. Like when someone that's being interviewed gives you an answer, then you naturally have a follow-up question from that well, you should naturally have a follow-up question from that. There was no real follow-up question. It was just like, okay, move to the next topic. It felt very like skimmed over, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there was a section where Hassan said he has sold roughly 110 tickets, which is 40% of the venue setup so far. And the interviewers kind of just went, okay, and moved on to the next thing, didn't sort of ask, oh, how are these people buying tickets when the show is announced, but there's no ticket link, there's no listing on the Padstow RSL website. Where do we go to buy these tickets? How much are said tickets?
So at the moment, from what we can glean, like if you want to buy a ticket, you have to DM the, like, I guess the
ACW page, get added to their mailing list, and then you might be able to buy a ticket that way.
Which also doesn't sound like the most secure way of buying a ticket. But we will find this out, hopefully, in the course of time. So what we did after we'd heard all of that is we just reached out to both companies. And Jamie today talked with Mitch from AllStar Wrestling. Yep. And we are currently trying to set up a time to talk to Hassan. So this isn't us saying we've talked to one party, we're not talking to the other. So I've heard the interview. I think Jamie's was a really, really good interview. What we do have is just a quick minute and a bit of this interview that Jamie did today with Mitch. I'm not quite too sure when the whole interview will go up, because I don't know whether to wait till we
have both sides.
Yeah, have both sides before we release it, or we just release it and then when he wants to talk to us, he can. Again, we're completely transparent. We have talked to Hassan, and we're currently trying to set up a time. Is that correct, Jamie?
Yeah, so I was speaking to Hassan yesterday. He is currently away from Australia at the moment, so it'll be a matter of finding a time that is suitable or when he returns and things like that.
Yes, so this isn't a case of us, we're just going to talk to one side, we don't want to talk to another. We want both sides of the story, because that's the most fairest way to do it. And to be completely honest, that's because we want answers. The same sort of answers that today Jamie did get from Mitch. Like, a lot of stuff got cleared up today in this interview with Mitch. We hope to get the same with Hassan, and we'll find out in the due course. So what we're going to do right now is just play you a quick minute of a question and answer from Jamie and Mitch, and then we'll be back right after this.
Okay. So if you had your time again, would you do anything differently?
Yes, absolutely. Like, it's a massive regret, because now there's legal fees and there's all this public drama, and the public drama is embarrassing. Like, I'm a pretty private guy, but doing these podcasts to try and make people aware that we're not associated with this thing on June 20th, and people think that it's some kind of storyline or angle, and it's all just very, very embarrassing. On the flip side, he seems to be enjoying it though, which is good. But for me, I'm highly embarrassed by the whole situation. But I guess I would like to thank the community for their support of me, and nobody's really been too rude about it. So that's a positive out of it all.
Yep. And then, just to put that one last pin in it, you are absolutely not involved with ACW moving forward or the All-Stars show on June 20. There's no storyline happening here.
No, I'll never work with Hassan, Keegan, or the Puppeteer again. That's a confirmation.
So there you go. That is as crystal clear as you can, like a denial.
Thank you so much for doing that, Jamie. I mean, you're kind of sticking your neck out, and firstly, obviously the podcast, and then making sure that we can have some journalistic integrity in Australian podcasts by getting them both to give their side of the story in a transparent way. So thanks a lot, mate.
Well, yeah, I was just legitimately interested after hearing the initial interview and this being like, oh wait, well, I need more clarity on a lot of this stuff. It was very opaque and just kind of brushed aside of, yep, cool, next question.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too that was brought up in that podcast at one time, Jamie, is that like when I think they even put up a screenshot of the questions we asked of the AllStar Facebook page as if to say we shouldn't be asking those questions.
Yeah. If you're going to make public statements of kind of a media release style, there are going to be questions asked.
Yeah, and to give like Mitch as much credit as you can, he answered as much as he can, both in that Facebook question that we asked, because he went point by point with the questions that we asked, and also in this interview that you will see come out, because Jamie doesn't really like beat around the bush with it. He did really well because he listened to the podcast before. He took his notes. He knew exactly what he wanted to ask from the questions that were raised in his own mind through the answers that Mitch gave in the first part of that show. So he did really, really well, I think, to be pointed but not like attacking, because it's not when we're not attacking. That's the thing. Like, and I said this to Jamie too. I think it's really important that we be crystal clear about it. Like, we don't not want new things starting up. We don't not want like investment in Australian wrestling. We love that shit. We just want it to be done right. And if you're doing these things and making these big claims, to have like solid, concrete stuff that you're doing, not just antagonizing the fans that are asking genuine questions and trying to get excited about the product. Because that's what I saw when I saw a lot of the questions at the start. But a lot of people trying to be excited with the product and then getting like smart-ass answers back to them, then that kind of turns you off from wanting to support people, I think, anyway.
It's very, very, very concerning to me that we are 5 weeks out from an event. There's not been one match announced. Yes, there have been wrestlers announced. No matches have been announced, and importantly, tickets are not on sale.
You don't have to. He sold 10 grand's worth of tickets, mate. Don't have to advertise anything.
How far away is the Purge? The Purge is what? 8 weeks away? 7 weeks?
It's the same date.
It's the same day. So it's 5 weeks away, and that they've almost sold out. I think I get that the Australian Championship Wrestling are trying something different, and I really appreciate that. But look at there are lots of examples of what has brought people to the dance. That is what you should be doing. MCW wouldn't leave a show this late. PWA wouldn't leave a show this late. PWL, PCW, all of the organizations that have a successful wrestling template in this country.
Like, to be fair, PWL haven't advertised a match yet either, except for the main event.
Yeah, but it's the Purge, so it's the same as it's the same.
Yeah. But I'm just like to be fair, like we haven't advertised the match either.
But you also have tickets available on a public ticketing platform.
We do, yes. That is a flag that we will definitely try and raise with Hassan, because it just seems like he wants to do things differently and not the way that is generally done by not just wrestling but by pretty much every form of entertainment.
Yeah, it would just like obviously buying tickets in that way. What legal recourse does a consumer have if the show does not go ahead?
Yeah.
Whereas if you went through a ticketing platform, if a show gets cancelled, that ticketing platform refunds you.
Yes. So anyway, these are all questions that hopefully we will get answered off Hassan. I think you got the majority of the questions that you wanted answered from Mitch today in that podcast. Would you agree, Jamie?
Yes. Yeah, he was very open. There was no sort of dodging questions. He was quite open with everything. So I was quite impressed that he didn't kind of gloss things over and kind of skirt around issues.
Yeah, that is the one thing I will like. I think every time he started an answer and sort of like finished the answer, when I was listening to it on the way home, I was just like, oh, okay. He just straight up like, okay, this is what it was. This is what this was. This is what, from my point of view, this is what this was. If he didn't remember anything, he said, as far as I remember, this didn't happen. But again, we were there for 6 hours. It might have happened somewhere during that 6 hours.
Yep.
So like I really, really enjoyed the interview, Jamie, and this is not just me blowing smoke. It's just it takes a lot for my ADHD brain to not wander off and like go, I'm done with this, let's go to another clip. That kept me going for the full 20 odd minutes that you had the conversation, mate, because it was interesting and you got to the point. You did your job as well as anyone could do, I think.
Thank you.
And I especially hope that we get a similar amount of openness from Hassan, right? Because it seems like, from this interview, we got very open, honest answers. And hopefully we can get something similar from Hassan that really clears a lot of this up. Because, we do want to be fair to both sides. But
yes.
Again, and Alex Fireheart says it exactly. Oh, Jamie did a proper journalism, stop the presses. But it's so nice to feel like we're actually getting some answers here.
Everything Jamie Apps does is spot on.
Yeah, that's whoa.
Upside down numpty.
They might be in here, but they're the right. No, that's the right way up.
That's the right way.
That's right.
Well, look. Speaking of,
made it look though, didn't it?
Speaking of things done right, speaking of good things and good things being highlighted, a very special thing has just happened over the past weekend, and someone who we love here on the channel, who's done a lot of supporting of this channel, and is an Aussie wrestling legend, is Ken Dazzler Dunlop, OAM, with the Order of Australia medal. Todd, have we got a video to play for this?
We do, mate. Here is him accepting his medal this week.
Mr. Ken Dazzler Dunlop was a professional wrestler for 24 years, starting at just 16 years of age. He travelled long distances to perform night after night to audiences in their hundreds, crammed into regional venues, leagues, clubs and town halls across the country. Mr. Dunlop was instrumental in keeping Australian pro wrestling alive and can be credited for its continued success and popularity today. He was later a wrestling promoter and was inducted into the Australian Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2015. In 2022, he published an autobiography, Dazzler Dunlop, Inside My Squared Circle, about his life and legacy as Australia's first openly gay professional wrestler, a role model for all those to follow, forging their own paths in an inclusive Australia. For service to professional wrestling, Mr. Dunlop.
So yeah, congratulations, Ken, mate. What a servant to the sport. What a I mean, it could not. I'm guessing it could not have been a walk in the park, being an openly gay professional wrestler in the 80s or 70s or whenever it was that. So yeah, absolute credit to the sport, mate. And we're going to try and catch up and actually have an interview for it. So. Yeah, it's just one of those things that I'll be honest with you. He's one of those guys that's on. I've got a bucket list of people that I want to talk to up on my wall. His name has been on there, and I've just been too either intimidated to ask or just straight up just distracted to ask for it. Because once I read his book, I was like, I really want to talk to the guy.
Ken is a genuinely nice guy as well, so that'd be a great chat.
An absolute legend who completely deserves it. So congratulations, Ken Dunlop, on the Order of Australia medal. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Really thrilled to see it. And
I don't think it's putting too fine a point on it that Ken walked so Australian wrestling could run. Australian wrestling when Ken was in the game is not in the shape it's in now. It was nowhere near.
He's one of those guys that was in the last vestiges of television wrestling.
Yep.
Right.
And so he went from television wrestling into that landscape where it just left Australia. And they were sort of left there to pick up the pieces. But they were still doing massive crowds on a Friday and Saturday nights, like 500 people on Friday and Saturday nights in RSLs and that all around the country. So, like, really, like the book, I highly recommend the book if you get a chance to check it out, because it is a very interesting read. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to maybe like to getting in contact with him soon and catching up and doing a chat with him.
Yeah, and someone who really kept wrestling alive through that period so that it could thrive now. And it is thriving. Let's have a look at just this weekend, the shows that are coming up. If you're in New South Wales, Australian Wrestling Superstars is going to be at Ashfield at the Polish Club on Saturday, May 16th. Also on Saturday, May 16th, PWA, Pro Wrestling Australia, has the Beer Shed Brawl. That's an 18-plus show at the Beer Shed in, and tell me if I'm getting this suburb even close to right, Jamie, in Lamia. And then
Correct.
There's going to be...
well done, mate.
Oh, me. I'm going to touch on the World Series Wrestling at the end. Up here in Queensland, Pro Wrestling Power has Wrestle Slam #2 at Brothers Cairns in... Oh, boy, this one's gotten thrown at me, hasn't it?
Menunda?
In Menunda on Friday, May 15th and Saturday, May 16th. I believe those shows have Super Crazy on them. So get amongst that. If you're not going to be there for that, if you're up in Townsville, Queensland Wrestling Alliance has Double Tap 3 at the Warehouse in Townsville on Saturday, May 16th. Meanwhile, in South Australia, Riot City Wrestling's Mean Street Mayhem #64, It's Gonna Be May, is at the Riot City Wrestling Academy in Kilkenny on Saturday, May 16th. In Victoria, PCW has Slam featuring Evolution at the Southeastern Entertainment Centre in Ferntree Gully on Friday, May 15th. Alpha Pro Wrestling has Energy #25 on Saturday, May 16th, along with Sunbury SmackDown Crossroads. That's at the Memorial Hall in Sunbury. Lucha Fantastica has the anniversary in Geelong at Geelong West Town Hall on Saturday, May 16th. And then the big tour this weekend is World Series Wrestling. They're going to be Monday, May 18th in Sydney at Panthers Penrith. They're going to be in Adelaide for at Hindmarsh in the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. That's tomorrow night, Friday, March 15th. And in Victoria, they've got the Saturday and the Sunday doubleheader at Kensington in the Melbourne Pavilion on May 16th and May 17th. If you're not there for one of the... By the way, if you're in Victoria, I believe there's still a couple of tickets left for that May 17th show, but you would have to...
Yeah, they're the only tickets that are available for the whole
They're the
tour.
only ones available for the tour. That's it. So if you want to see the tour and you're not in Victoria for that Sunday, May 17th show that still has tickets, the way to do it is to head on over to YouTube and search for World Series Wrestling, because you're not going to believe it. World Series Wrestling free on YouTube. Yes, we did it, boys. It's there. At World Series Wrestling is the channel on YouTube. All three of those shows are going to be live. The Adelaide show tomorrow night is 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern. Sorry, all four of those shows from all three venues are going to be on there live. 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time is the listed premiere time for all of them, bar that second night in Melbourne. The Sunday night's a little bit earlier to get out of there on a Sunday night. So that one's going to start at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So be ready for those, free on YouTube. And hey, if you're interested in what's going on with World Series Wrestling, they got another tour coming, the Mega Mania Tour. It's going to be in October and November. It's going to be in Auckland at the Dewdrop Events Centre in the Sir Wolf Fisher Arena on October 29th. Up here in Brisbane on October 30th in the Fortitude Valley Music Hall. In Adelaide on Saturday, October 31st at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. In Melbourne on Sunday, November the 1st at the Melbourne Pavilion. And in Sydney on Monday, November 2nd at Evans Theatre at Panthers Penrith. You can catch names like Andrade, Shayna Baszler, Sammy Guevara, Killer Cross, Scarlett, and Los Tranquilos de Japón, featuring Bushi, Ryusei, and Tetsuya Naito. Yowie, that is going to be a hell of a tour. So I can't wait to watch this tour to get excited for that tour, because Australian wrestling's on top of the world, and getting tours like that here in Australia is just unreal. Showcasing all that international talent. And speaking of international, wrestling's popping off not just in Australia, but around the world. So we're going to talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling right after this.
Yes, right after this, what we have during our break is the interview Jeff did with the Blood Diamonds last weekend at nothing like weekend before last at
Black
PCW.
Diamonds, isn't it?
Black Diamond, sorry, at PCW Royal Rumble, which is the show we will be reviewing next week. I think it is, or this week, coming next week.
And we're also going to look at the EPW show that happened just last weekend. We're looking at both of them next week.
Oh, that was good to remember. I didn't remember that. So, all right, so here is the interview Jeff did with the Black Diamonds.
I'm here with the Black Diamonds, reigning PCW champions, and Jason Blade. That's all right. Oh my God! Don't kill me. Mix their names up. Well, you guys are so inseparable. It's easy to do. The number one contender,
The future national champion.
Oh my goodness!
Future national champion.
Nothing like the future national champion at PCW. You guys are absolutely killing it down here at the moment.
Thank you.
You're running on a freebird rule. Obviously, any one of you can defend the title. What's that going to mean when you become the national champion?
Look, my focus will be on that for the time being, and I fully trust these two to defend our belts to the best of their ability, and they're never losing them. It doesn't matter.
The goal is to take all the gold.
Exactly.
Take all the gold. So will it be Black Diamonds Championship Wrestling eventually, or are you going to...
I think it pretty much is.
Basically,
I think it pretty much is.
Might as well change the name now. Change the name.
All over the show, in nearly every match. May as well be.
It's our show.
And
let's face it, best segments of the night.
Yeah. Certainly entertaining. I don't want
best segments of the night.
Yeah, sure, best segment of the night. But Sam Yanis is in the corner, and I don't want to argue with Sam.
Oh, he's awful.
So, but in all seriousness, as you know, the show, we kind of blend between shoot and...
Of course,
and You guys are really a cornerstone of PCW. Have you looked further afield, or are you just happy ruling PCW with a diamond fist?
I think obviously Jackson's doing stuff on his own with Renegades and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like me and Jason, we started together. Like this would be 9 years. Wow. So we did our assessments together at PCW, and we debuted as a tag team.
Yes.
So I think we're so attached to PCW right now that it's like we want PCW to grow. Yeah, and we're doing everything that we can. And we've obviously got great, like our roster's fantastic. I think it's the best that it's been forever.
Yeah.
So like if an opportunity came around,
we wouldn't turn it down.
We wouldn't turn it down or not consider it.
Yeah.
But this is our home base, and we are so involved during the week in the training school and all that stuff as well. So, this is home, but if anything else,
so people come knocking, you'll take it?
It's a
We'll have some conversations.
We'll entertain it.
And
price is right. No, I'm joking.
So 2 hot dogs and a handshake. No,
that'd be all right.
Now, of course, you guys who do you want to face? What tag team or trio do you guys actually go, that's who we want to face? Australia, internationally, where do you want to wind up?
I think, I always say, whenever we wrestle in waters, it's always, it's just the dynamic between them and us, and it's always killer matches with them.
Yeah.
But like, I'd love to wrestle the Ambush. Murdoch and Jarvis.
That's probably the biggest one.
That's probably the biggest one. We did a massive feud with Rapid Fire last year here.
Yeah, I saw that's where we kind of hooked into it again.
Yeah.
And we saw some great matches.
Like, we're really close with all those boys because we all started at the same time with JJ, Murdoch, Jarvis.
Yeah.
Like, we all came up together. So to do anything with those two, especially since we haven't done anything with them, that'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic. So.
Okay, well, is there anything you'd like to add to the listeners and viewers of Wrestle Radio Australia?
I think I'm down. PCW is growing at the moment. Obviously been established for years, like one of the longest running companies in Victoria, Australia, something like that. But yeah, PCW's, I think it's really going to explode for kind of being like a growing period at the moment. Yeah. So it's just about gaining traction, keep putting on great shows, and jump on board.
I think our shows speak for themselves. When you come down, you're going to have a good night.
Yeah.
Keep those guys.
Yeah, I think the quality of wrestlers that are on the show are fantastic. From the top of the card to the bottom of the card, and the good thing about our guys is that everyone's kind of interchangeable. Whereas like Jackson could fit perfectly in the opening match or the main event. You know what I mean? And I feel the same with a lot of guys. A lot of guys can main event shows. That's just a lot to have, I think. So.
Yeah, it's a great roster, and you're really cornering a family market, which is quite lovely. And I think what I felt tonight, and it's my first time here in a long time, was that the audience were listening for the kids to chant before chanting themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice quality to have. The audience that let the show be.
Yeah, it's really cool because there were kids that were this big when we started out 6 years ago on shows, but now old as, and they're still giving it to us in the ring, talking back. So we have that full relationship as well over the past 5 years, and they keep coming back. And it's awesome.
I think that's wonderful. Black Diamonds, thank you so much. All the best.
Thanks, mate. Thank you for coming down. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I look forward to coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a few big shows coming up. So next one's May 30th. Just our Ignition, which is our kind of TV style weekend show, and then on the build up to Carnage, which is our big main event show.
Yeah,
we call it. So
All right. Thank you, fellas. All the best.
Welcome back to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling. And it's been Backlash week. That's right, at Backlash. John Cena revealed at Backlash that a brand new event and championship would be coming to WWE at Backlash. It's called the John Cena Classic. And this event would feature both NXT and WWE stars doing battle with the intention of winning the new John Cena Classic Championship. Cena explained that he'd look for a certain level of excellence as he's personally putting his name on the project. He also emphasized that the audience will vote to crown the champion of the event. Every participant will qualify, meaning that even if someone loses, their hustle could get them the championship. Cena said that he hoped to do this event for a long time to come and thanked the likes of Oba Femi for making something like this a reality. I'm going to pass to Todd. What do you think of the John Cena Classic?
It sounds like that his retirement match show, that Saturday Night's Love main event, was like a pilot for this idea. Is the way it sounds. So I don't know, like about the whole idea of, because there's been a lot of wrestlers like Lance Storm and that have brought up a lot of stuff, like not problems but potential like pitfalls in this idea is like having the crowd decide who the winner of this championship is. Like even if you lose the match, your performance could get you the championship kind of deal. Like that is a bit weird, but like because it's not really a tournament. Like Alex Fireheart says, surprised it isn't just a tournament really, but like the other dudes do tournaments all the time, so it's hard to like we're going to do a tournament. Yeah, okay. Those guys do tournaments every second week. It's not really special anymore.
It feels like everyone's going to get to do a performance review in some ways.
Yeah.
On, do I get enough of those when I'm working? I don't want one. Like I have to do a couple of those occasionally when I'm working. No more.
I think the show itself will be great. I don't know about the whole premise of the, like, why not do it like a one-night tournament like Dusty Rhodes, like the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
The old school King of the Ring.
Yeah, like the old school King of the Ring. So just call it the John Cena Classic, where you do qualifying matches on NXT and on Raw and on SmackDown to make those shows. And like, I understand. It's just like, and you 100% like Alex Fireheart says, just call it an award rather than a title because it sounds like it's a show MVP award. Yeah, because I don't know if the thing's going to get defended. I don't know if what's going to happen. Beetle Bailey says it makes the matches meaningless in a sense because it's just an exhibition.
Yeah, like you could literally, like Danhausen could be in one of these matches, lose, and be crowned the champion because he has a massive fan base.
Yes, yeah. And it's also the thing that I think Lance Storm brought up was just like, well, if that's the way this thing's going to be, then you're going to be a lot of guys who aren't going to try their best in this thing because they don't want to make the other guy look good. Because if they make the other guy look great, then by definition,
they're not going to win.
They mightn't get the votes.
Yeah, I feel like professionally, that is unlikely. I feel like if that was an indie show, maybe.
isn't. Yeah, like it's gonna be interesting. Like the show itself, I think is gonna be fun.
Yes.
The premise of it, a bit weird.
I also assume the voting will be a club WWE thing.
Yeah, for
Quite
sure,
possibly.
right?
Yeah.
And then it's a case of how transparent is said voting.
Yeah, well, like Cyber Sunday and that wasn't worked.
I mean, let's be honest, we're going to wind up seeing Donald Trump, the John Cena champion.
Oh, God. That man does not need to be given any more medals.
That was worth it just for your reaction, Jamie.
Moving on to just as disappointing news, maybe. No, this is actually sad. Beyond the Mat director Barry Blaustein has passed away at 72. His death was announced on Tuesday following a battle with pancreatic cancer and Parkinson's disease. Blaustein was the writer, director, producer, and narrator of Beyond the Mat, a documentary that was fortuitously released in 1999 during wrestling's Attitude Era pop culture heights, and notably featuring the Montreal Screwjob as part of ongoing filming. An excellent film that I think every wrestling fan should have seen by this point, right?
Yeah, well, that and like Wrestling with Shadows were two of the documentaries that really pulled back the curtain on what wrestling was. And like that movie Beyond the Mat, the section with Mick Foley was just it was hard to watch.
Oh yeah.
Part of that, like the parts with Jake Roberts, when you find out just how like mentally like hurt and damaged that man has been, like not from wrestling, but just from growing up, to the point where you've got like the shirt I'm wearing, not Book Terry, Dennis Stamp. Like if that movie had come out, I was thinking about it like today. If that movie had come out today, Dennis Stamp would have made so much money on WrestleCons for the rest of his days.
Just on T-shirt sales.
Yes, and also has probably one of the most iconic scenes in any wrestling documentary, and that is Paul Heyman. No, not in the trampoline, but like Paul Heyman revving up the troops before that first ECW pay-per-view. This is the dance. Fucking that speech alone is just, if that, like, you listen to that and fire. If you want to go to the gym, listen to that before you go to the fucking gym. That will fire you up. Like,
I'd also like to mention that Blaustein did Beyond the Mat, which is a seminal documentary in wrestling, but he was also the creator of the Police Academy movies. He wrote a lot of Eddie Murphy's movies. He was a writer on SNL. His cultural impact is much, much larger than just Beyond the Mat. And even if it was only Beyond the Mat, it's one hell of a cultural impact. But the guy, as a comedy writer and documentarian, he will be sadly missed, but Parkinson's and pancreatic cancer. Wow, that's really bad.
Yeah, but rest in peace, mate. It was, like I said, one of the seminal documentaries for professional wrestling. Like, there are a few around that but there are not too many people in wrestling that do not know that movie or could not quote at least 3 or 4 lines from that movie.
Yeah.
Like, just Dennis Stamp alone. Like, anytime someone's not booked, it's like, not booked, Harry?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You're coming. Not booked, Harry.
Not booked, Harry.
Yep, that's it. Moving on to some more WWE specific news. Following Asuka's loss to Io Sky at Backlash, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that the former women's champion was, quote, semi-retired.
Can I do my Dave?
You may, Todd.
Thank you. So the story I heard is she is semi-retired. I mean I haven't gotten that as exact meaning what semi-retired means, but I guess people were wishing for her to say goodbye and things like that backstage. So I don't know if that means she's going to Japan and still wrestle. I don't know if that means she's still going to do stuff here and there. But I was told she was semi-retired.
Yep, there you go.
Is that good?
I think that was pretty accurate. So it seems like Asuka is not going to be wrestling regularly anymore. at least is what we're getting from that. We'll see what's going on. Alex Fireheart says, there's a watch-along idea, Todd.
If we had a Patreon, 100% we'd be doing that watch-along.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that on YouTube. You will get pinged to high heavens on that one.
I was thinking about that today. Like if we ever did a Patreon and just did it like for like something low, like $1 a month, and we just did a whole series of watching wrestling movies, watch along wrestling movies. Go back to Oscar, mate, please.
Yeah, I'll have more to say about this. This at the end of the episode. She was fucking like that first 2 years of her in NXT, 15 to 17, 18, were just brilliant. Like, so good. I don't think she should have lost to Charlotte. That's something that's going to bother me for a long time. But
evidently,
it still does.
It has been a long time, brother.
It still pisses me off. It's been 8 years. I should get over it. But I look just a fantastic wrestler. If you want to watch something truly different, go back and watch some of Kana's matches. They are truly different because she is so hard hitting. She's it literally looks like she's going to kick someone square in the heart and kill them.
I think she did a few
times. She probably did, yeah.
And also, like, the epitome of making chicken salad out of some of the shit she was dealt once joining WWE.
I was going to say one of the worst things you can say about her run is that she got completely Zigglered because they knew how quickly they could heat her up to be a main event women's world champion. So they oftentimes just went, oh, we can give her garbage and she'll make it work. And she did every time.
Sometimes you can be too good at your job.
Yeah, that's Exhibit A right there.
Also, and I mean, I know we're going to touch on the show on Sunday a bit more soon, but that was one incredible match to go out on. If you're going out in your own terms and you go out with that as your lasting piece of work, my goodness, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I did see someone complaining that they've got someone whose whole gimmick is retiring people, so she should have wrestled Gunther. But beyond that,
I would have watched the hell out of that.
Oh yeah,
I know. That
would have been a banger. But yeah, so hopefully we see some more Asuka somewhere.
I agree with Wild Angel here when they say Kana and Marufuji against Minoru Suzuki and Meiko Satomura is one of their favorite matches ever. It is an absolute banger.
It's not an easy watch.
No.
But it's a hell of a thing. Moving on, a report by Jeremy Lambert at Fightful.com says WWE and its legal team have been going after a variety of online personalities. Quote, World Wrestling Entertainment has reportedly taken down and sent copyright strikes to a number of streamers and content creators over clips and reactions, Lambert writes. Fightful's also reporting that WWE is working with a company called Stream Enforcement, using bots to target streamers. It's not concerning at all.
It's a great name, though.
Yeah, Brian Alvarez confirms that WWE, quote, totally clamped down this week. Quote, it's a lot of WWE reaction video creators, Alvarez reports. Went down sometime in the past 3 weeks. Big names all dinged and having to pull all their stuff. This is surprising because WWE has a track record of posting those streamers on their own programming, right? Quote,
so much so they did it this week.
Yeah. A lot of people were shocked about it, including in WWE, because those vids did push the product hard to large audiences, Alvarez said. Jamie, what are your thoughts on this?
Spoiler, this is something I'm going to talk about later.
Whoa! So yeah, let's...
It's a salad, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yep.
Look,
as a reaction streamer now, I'm not happy.
Yeah, but no, but it's different because you don't put the footage up.
Well, yeah, they don't put the footage up on...
Once.
I've done it a few times for clips, but
yeah,
I think the issue with these guys is that they are clipping almost every segment, every big moment, whereas myself and Peggy, we are maybe putting up 1-2 clips at most from a show.
Do you know the difference is too, like, you can put up every big moment, but like a lot of them were just basically doing the whole show.
Yeah.
So there were people that were just watching. There were people that will eventually like watch the show through watching those reaction clips, and that is not something that any business would encourage. I wouldn't think.
And
It's
putting
like if
the
you're
clips
doing-
up immediately as well. Like,
Yeah,
the things were airing and they were posting them as the show was still on. And I was like,
yeah.
I
See,
can
that's
see why
something
they
like-
would be annoyed at that.
Yeah, that's something I think like Wheezy Blonde was just going, look, she even went on her thing, it's like we all knew this was bound to happen. We're using their material. We're using their intellectual property. And so you have to be smart about it and not do every segment for the whole show. Because if you're doing it that way, then you are literally just like streaming their show with you in the corner. And that's like, I kind of understand where they're coming, like WWE are coming from on that. If it was just the big moments, 100% do it because it's great and it gets because then people will go, shit, I might watch that whole show and then go back to Netflix and watch the whole show to see the stuff that we didn't get to see on these reaction clips. But when you're doing the whole bloody show, what's the point?
Yeah. And that's what I did last week.
From.
That's what I did last week with the MJF Derby hair versus title challenge. I put up a clip, but the footage from the show is cut up. It's not the full 3-minute segment. It is slivers from that with my reaction as one solid clip from the whole thing.
Yeah. And it's like it's a totally different thing to like if you're doing the whole watch along, then you are literally stealing the things.
Yeah.
Whereas like you and I
don't
this
have
week,
audio, I don't have video.
Yeah, like you and I this weekend are going to be doing a Ring of Honor watch along, and there'll be no footage, there'll be no audio.
No
of the
show audio, it'll just be us.
Yeah, because that's
You're doing a Ring of Honor watch along. Tell me more.
Later on, we'll do that later on.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's talk about what happened at Backlash. There was the World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns defeating Jacob Fatu, the United States Champion Trick Williams defeating Sami Zayn, Io Sky defeated Asuka, Braun Breaker defeated Seth Rollins, and Danhausen, along with Minihausen, defeated The Miz and Kit Wilson.
Say his name.
Apparently, Mr. Bebo.
That's what Dan called him.
Is it?
That's what Dan called him. First name basis with Mr. Hausen.
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. So we did a predictions bet before, and all of us got 4 out of 7, except for Todd, who got 5 out of 7. And when we say out of 7, and I hate to give Todd any more like credit because his head's going to be enormous after this, but in fairness, the only things he didn't predict were what Cena's news would be and who Danhausen's tag partner would be. He actually went 5 for 5 on match results.
That's Todd. He knows his stuff. Maybe we should listen to him more often.
You have no idea how long I've been.
You owe me for setting up that clip, Todd.
Where's Peggy?
Mark Davis. Let's move over to AEW. Mark Davis is the new AEW National Champion. In the first match of the night on Saturday, May 9th at AEW Fairway to Hell, Jack Perry faced Davis with his new AEW National title on the line, and Davis won. Hooray! We like this, right? We're all up for Dunkzilla. Yeah, good stuff.
I mean, the way we have been talking about him for the last couple of months, like he was due to get a push like this. He was due to get a shot at a title and an actual meaningful shot. Because that was almost going to be my chicken shit last week, was him actually having the match. Because my whole idea is, what's the fucking point of, how did he get this match? He lost clean to the guy the week before. Why are you giving him this match again? Because I just assumed he wasn't going to win it. It's like,
he was going to lose again.
So I'm like, why are we fucking doing this? And then when I saw he won, I'm like, I am fine with all of this.
The way we got there, stupid, but okay.
Yeah, I am fine with the result.
As first reported by Post Wrestling on Monday, AEW has filed a lawsuit against Triller TV and its parent company, Triller Group Inc., alleging that the streaming platform owes the wrestling company nearly $5 million in overdue payments. The alleged overdue payments stem from AEW pay-per-view events that aired on Triller TV and from subscriptions to AEW Plus. Jamie, do you want to speak about this some more?
This is a goddamn mess because apparently the Triller Group is the one above them that do all of the various streaming, and then Triller TV is like its own separate bubble that has always been the wrestling and MMA stuff.
Are they like Fips Media or Flips Media?
They were Flip Media, yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently all of their revenue gets pushed up to the Triller Group, and then the Triller Group can split it wherever they want, and they're not actually giving it back to Triller TV to pay the people that they're supposed to pay.
Do you know what that's reminiscent of? WCW.
Yep.
Because when WCW made, God knows how many millions they made when they were in the middle of the 83 weeks, that all went into Turner, and then Turner just spread that revenue amongst all of their other properties and not really reinvested it in WCW. It smells a lot like that. So apparently they've also Flips Media or the Triller TV are actually suing their parent company for abandonment.
Yeah, that's what Alex Fireheart has said, is that Triller is also suing Triller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triller TV is suing Triller Group to try and be allowed to get out from under that umbrella so they can go a separate way and try, because from the sounds of it, they're the only part of that company that is profitable.
Yeah, the way that I read the argument was that they said that their board of directors had abandoned them.
Yep. Yeah, they're basically left to their own devices to.
Yeah,
you do what you need to do. You keep the company running, but we're taking all your money, and then we'll give you scraps.
Yeah, you get operating costs, and that's it.
Yeah, I read through the social media of Brett Lauderdale from GCW, who basically came out and said, look, the Triller TV people that the wrestling company works with are excellent, and they work their butt off, and they have a great product that they deliver excellently, and their money has been taken from them. And his perspective was that he doesn't blame those people at all, and is going to keep GCW on that platform for basically as long as he is able. Because it works, right? And the fact that the money is not then getting out to the wrestling companies is awful and is not on the individual people from Triller TV. It is interesting to see how many flow-on effects this has had, because we mentioned it before, like previously World Series Wrestling, you could buy it on Triller. And World Series Wrestling now, coming up as of tomorrow night, free on YouTube. So
because if you're not getting paid, why would you put it on their platform?
Yeah, that's what that suggested to me, that they either took a long time to get that revenue or are still owed that revenue. So they're like, well, screw it, YouTube.
And especially when
advertising for our next tour as well.
Exactly. And when you've got, a company like World Series Wrestling who's putting on great shows and selling lots of tickets, do you want the people who like your product to spend a bunch of money to see it and you don't see any of that money? No, you'd rather have it for free on YouTube. And
if I'm not getting paid for it, I might as well not get paid for it on my terms with my platform.
Yeah, and have people see it for free if you're not getting paid either way. But again, it doesn't seem like that's a Triller TV problem. It seems like it's a Flips, whatever they call it, problem.
Yeah, and that's where it works for World Series Wrestling too, to have that next tour already announced. This tour is on YouTube. Yes. It might get people to buy tickets for that next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, AEW relationships with other platforms, the relationship between AEW and Jazzwares appears to have ended. According to a new report from wrestling figure collector Kyle Peterson, quote, late Friday I got word that unfortunately the entire AEW Jazzwares team over there at Jazzwares were laid off on Friday. Jazzwares and AEW have been working together since 2020 with the initial release of the Unrivaled collection. This was first announced in February of that year and then got released officially later in 2020. There were a few different collections released, including Vault, Supreme, and Unmatched. We've not heard anything officially from either company regarding the toy line or whether or not AEW will be going with a different supplier going forward. there was always the rumor that major figures could be involved. I don't know if Cardona will be necessarily allowed to work with AEW.
No,
We'll see.
because it's a different company. Because they're currently
He specifically
doing
put it in his contract that the major figures thing is separate. They can't stop anything that they do.
Because they are actually doing AEW figures at the moment. The big rubber guys have got a couple of I think there's a Orange Cassidy coming out and stuff like that. Kyle Peterson is a very reputable source within the toy collector community. If you're on YouTube and you collect any type of action figure or especially wrestling figures, you will 100% know who Kyle Peterson is. And if you're like me, pops up in my what Jamie calls the weirdest algorithm on YouTube he's ever seen quite regularly. So yeah, it's kind of it's really sad because they started off rough. The Jazzwares figures started off rough, but some of those figures are really, really nice. Like I've got a Page figure. I've got
the Brody Lee one is awesome.
Yeah, I've got a. Originally, I had all of the Elite originally. Then I sold them, but I've still got a Brandy Rhodes. It could be.
I was going to say you definitely had a Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, you definitely got a Brandy Rhodes, mate. We know that.
Yeah, I have got one of those. I know I've got an MVP and a Hangman, MJF and a Hangman figure that are really good. And I also bought the classics one of Ric Flair, which is a really good figure as well. They do really good figures, and apparently there's a whole line of stuff that's still unreleased that we just don't know if it will get released. So
yeah, I've got an MJF and a Ricky Starks.
Yeah, there you go. The MJF
Macho Man Andy
cool.
Savage saying the UK quote-unquote exclusive Osprey is incredible.
Yeah, so they do really good work, and it's sad to see anyone lose their jobs, to be honest with you.
Of course. Moving on to other AEW stuff, the Owen Hart Foundation, the Owen Hart tournaments have been announced, supporting the Owen Hart Foundation. The first one is going to be the women's tournament, has Persephone versus Hazuki and Willow Nightingale versus Alex Windsor, with that match being on Double or Nothing. And on the other side, Mina Shirakawa versus Athena and Sky Blue versus Sari. And then in the Owen Hart...
Maybe, because Sari is, from her social media post, injured. Neck issues. So whether that's a work for Japan of I'm injured, so I have to go away for a little bit so she can go and do this thing.
Well, no, because they've got because the tournament final will be at Forbidden Door, which is Stardom as well. So it's like, if you're going to work the injury, how could you say you're in the tournament the whole time?
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see where that goes, and maybe the idea is there's no date announced for that match, so maybe her match is one of the later first round ones. Give her time to heal up.
And really, with Sari's wrestling style, there's no surprise that she could be hurt, especially and not just her style, but the pure amount of wrestling matches she does each year is just obscene.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the men's tournament is going to have a Double or Nothing match between Samoa Joe and Will Ospreay, a match between Mark Davis and Jungle Jack Perry, and then on the other side, a Double or Nothing match between Swerve Strickland and Bandito, as well as Claudio Castagnoli versus Brody King. So
why the hell are we doing Davis and Perry again? There are 7 other guys you could have picked for both of them.
Why is Andrade not in this?
Yeah, that's another good point. But Samoa Joe and Ospreay at Double or Nothing will fucking bang.
That's a banger.
And Claudio against Brody King is going to be fucking insane.
Meat fest.
Another thing too is because I don't know if they meant it to happen, but I believe Swerve Strickland was just on his social media this week complaining about how he's been kept off AEW TV, and then the next day they announced him in the tournament.
He since deleted that, so I imagine that was initially a shoot, and they jumped on him pretty quick, and it's now become a work.
Bryan Danielson gave him a message, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, on Double or Nothing, that's in 10 days on May 24th. Other than that, Ospreay Joe, the Strickland Bandito, and the Nightingale Windsor matches for the Owen Hart tournament. We have 5 other matches announced. One of them is a Stadium Stampede match. That one's going to have Chris Jericho, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Kenny Omega, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks taking on The Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Cowan, and Toa Leona, as well as Mark Davis, Andrade, El Idolo, Clark Connors, and David Finlay in a Stadium Stampede. Then the title matches, the AEW World Championship will be defended by Darby Allin against MJF, who is putting his hair on the line. The AEW Women's Championship will be defended in a four-way match with Tekla defending against Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander, and Jamie Hayter. The AEW International Champion Kazuchika Okada will defend against Konosuke Takeshita, and the AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, will defend against Adam Copeland and Chris Jericho in an I Quit Street fight.
Chris Jericho.
Christian Cage.
What?
You said Chris Jericho.
Enough.
Sorry, Adam Copeland.
The lines are very close together, so he probably...
They both start with Chris. I just kept reading. We'll defend against Adam Copeland and Christian Cage in an I Quit Street fight where Copeland and Cage must win in order to stay a team. Thank you for that fix there, putting the line break in, Todd. I appreciate it.
Plus, we'll probably get another 6 or 7 matches.
Yeah, I was going to say, and as usual with an AEW card, we've got 4 title matches, 3 Owen Hart tournament matches, and a Stadium Stampede match. Everything has to be a thing.
In a pear tree.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, how many other titles are there that can be defended, and et cetera, et cetera?
There's the women's tag titles. I imagine will be on there in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Who's the TNT champion?
Kevin Knight. Potentially defending against Speedball.
Yeah.
Seems to be the direction they're going.
Yeah, it won't be too shabby.
Honestly, if they limit it to 10 matches, I think that's a relatively reasonable card for them. But that won't happen.
I'll be surprised if Mark Davis isn't defending that international title. Not the international title, the
national title.
National title on the show as well. Like, there's going to be more.
I don't know if he will be, because I suspect his match might be the Dynamite after.
Stampede. He won't be.
Oh, boy, he's in the Stampede.
Yeah, he's in the Stampede.
Yeah, see, they just throw everyone on the card somewhere. So
Alex Farhad fixed it for you, mate.
Oh, sorry, I did read it wrong. Thanks, Alex Farhad. It's Adam Chrisland and Christian Cage versus Dax Chriswood and Chris Wheeler.
There you go.
We've also got the card so far for Supercard of Honor in Ring of Honor. That's got the Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito defending against Blake Christian. Nigel McGuinness versus Josh Woods in a Pure Rules match. Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena is going to defend against Maya World, Trish Adora, Yuka Sakazaki, Billy Starks, and someone else in a Survival of the Fittest match. The Ring of Honor Women's Pure Champion Deonna Purrazzo is going to defend against Diamante, and the Ring of Honor Women's TV Champion Red Velvet will defend against Viva Van, and that's going to be watched live by the 2 men adjacent to me in the video call, right, Jamie and Todd?
Yes, but not on the Wrestle Radio Australia YouTube. How are they going to find it, Jamie? Because I don't want to go here and go, where the hell are they?
That will be on my channel, Pario Magazine, on YouTube. If you head to pariomagazine.com.au/live stream, it'll be there.
Yeah. And we'll try and share it on all of our socials as well on the day, just to make sure that you guys can get to it. Because, it only just occurred to me, people might think it's on this stream where it won't be.
That TBD has been confirmed as Zeta Steel.
Oh, neat.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
That's shaping up to be one hell of a card.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nigel McGuinness versus Josh Woods sold me.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as that match was announced, I was like, okay, I got to do the watch along.
I saw that and I went, okay, I don't mind doing the watch along now.
How nice is it that McGuinness has got this later career, but specifically in the Pure Rules style, so he's not taking the same number of insane bumps and injuring himself quite as much.
I think it's amazing that they can actually find time to have 3 women's matches on a card.
Yeah.
Well, ROH might as well be a women's show at this point.
Yeah, it's like NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the division to watch. Moving over to New Japan now, there's been an announcement that on August 15th, Hiroyoshi Tenzan is going to have his retirement after a very long career. So, it's wild that we get another big chariot touring around the arena, right?
His career was always downhill after his amazing appearance on WWE.
Yeah, that was the pinnacle for sure. And
because I don't know, just before you say, I don't know if you know this, he was on, I think it was the Vegas card, but he wasn't in any matches. He just sat behind the commentary, like inside the barrier. No, inside the barrier, sat behind the commentary and stood up in one part and dragged somebody out. And that was all you saw of him.
Was it
Nate
during his excursion or something? Was he a young boy?
Wow, it was 2002.
Probably was.
He was, well, no, because this would have been after like Power Warriors and everything, I think.
Yeah, that's too late for him. That's wild. That's weird.
Yeah. After the show, I'll dig up the footage and I'll show you. Because I remember watching it and they were cutting to like Borash and Disco, I think. And Tenzan's just sitting behind them. And you can't mistake him because of that flat top.
Yeah. It's the most obvious hairdo ever.
Yeah.
He's a very recognizable dude.
It was like talking of like Simpsons references. I was like, he's going to do something. He's going to do something. It was like, he just didn't do anything.
The other New Japan bit of news is that the Best of the Super Juniors tournament is going to start. Hang on, what's the time? About now. Yeah.
It started 2 hours ago.
Yeah. So we'll quickly run through the blocks and we'll get our predictions in. Block A has Daiki Nagai, Francisco Akira, Robbie X, Nick Wayne, Titan, Violente Jr., Kusei Fujita, Jun Kasai, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Master Watto. Whereas Block B has El Desperado, Yo, Daisuke Sasaki, Kushida, Robbie Eagles, Jacob Austin Young, Taiji Ishimori, Hyo, Sho, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Let's make some quick predictions on who's going to win these blocks and who's going to take it overall. I've gone ahead and put in the easy, fun prediction. So anyone else can feel free to copy it. And that is Kosei Fujita winning Block A and Robbie Eagles winning Block B for an Ichiban Sweet Boy matchup in the final. I've got Fujita taking the whole thing, unfortunately. Robbie deserves it, but I've got the money on Fuj. Todd, where are you seeing it go?
You're going to make me an arsehole, aren't you? Not pick. I've got a feeling that Robbie... Oh, no, because... Come back to me, please.
Jeff, which way do you think
I need
this
to
is
think on
going?
this a little bit.
Go to Todd.
No, you don't.
Jamie, where do you think this is going?
Jerk.
I really want to copy Lachlan just because I really want that match, but I want Robbie to win because Fuj had it. But
We can make that your prediction.
No, I think the New Japan logic booking here is Fujita and Despy.
Yeah, and then who do you see taking it?
And then
Is it-
Fujita gets it again.
You reckon he gets it again?
All right.
Yep. They love that kid.
I'm actually, like, all jokes aside, I think it's going to be Fujita and Ishimori, and Ishimori's going to take it.
Ah.
I don't think Ishimori's ever won it, so that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And he's great. Like, he's terrific.
And Todd?
I'm going to go well out. So this one, you can consider this one just a given for you guys, okay? Robbie X.
I almost picked Robbie X. I almost had a Robbie versus Robbie final.
And I can never remember which one is which out of Show and Yo. But
Show is in House of Torture.
Okay, then Show.
Yeah.
And I think Show might win it.
He is so good. He would be a great winner.
If it was Shockmaster Show, yeah. Like when he was the Shock Arrow guy.
No,
Now
I don't know, man. Like his just absolute control of, because, like, let's be honest, that title reign of what's his name, the hardcore guy that is in House of Torture. You know who I'm talking about.
God damn it, yeah.
Alex, where are you? Hurry up, Alex.
Alex, we need you. Like, Show is the one making that title reign work. Anyway, And like Alex Fireheart is just popping off saying, curious if we'll get some House of Torture versus Damnation TA shenanigans with Daisei Sasaki in there. Also says, given United
Doki.
Empire are the main heel faction right now. Doki, that's it. Thank you. Show
we
is
forget Doki?
everything that's going on with Doki. Alex Fireheart says, given United Empire are the main heel faction right now, I could see Francesco Akira making the finals.
That was another one that was. It was him or Robbie X in my head.
Yeah, there's a lot of like good options. Sometimes it gets overwhelming with like how many good picks there are.
Actually, no, fucking change it to Akira, please.
Akira Kurosawa, Francisco Akira for Todd's #1 pick. Here we go.
I would also love an Akira Robbie final. I think that'd be awesome.
It would be.
And I would like to make it clear for the audience, especially Robbie. The only reason I'm not picking like that is because everyone else is fucking doing it. I'm just trying to.
I'm the only person who's picked Robbie Eagles.
He's the only person.
Did he? Oh, okay. Well, fuck it then.
I picked Taiji Ishimori, mate.
Ah, fuck it. I don't anymore. I don't care. He's kicked me in the head a lot, so I like.
That's true. That's very true. Look,
I will say I want Robbie to win, and I think he deserves this win, given that he's now got the most entrances as a gaijin. But
no doubt,
absolutely, and like seeing Robbie get that record is absolute chicken salad, right? Which is what the show's named for. But to get to our chicken salad first, we have to go through our
chicken shit.
Our chicken shit. Let's start it with Jamie. What's your chicken shit for the week, mate?
It was just the idea of WWE and this stream enforcement bot striking all of their content creators, nuking some of their Instagrams pending appeal, which is probably unlikely, knowing Meta. But then immediately to kick off Raw, here's some clips from said streamers that have had the Instagram nuked. I'm like,
you know what? There's literally
it's just
only
not
one.
a great look.
There's probably literally only one guy that I want nuked. The rest are fine. It's that Jake 2v2 or whatever his name is. He's like out of shape. He's like out of shape Roman Reigns.
Oh, not
Todd
the guy
making
that
more
reacted.
enemies on the show.
Did you like the guy that
care about this
reacted
guy.
to the AJ Francis?
Look, there's no helping him, so.
But yeah, like I think like it's just a poor look. Like if you're gonna employ this company to go and clamp down on this stuff, maybe don't use the clips on your show. Or if you're gonna use your clips on the show, tell that company these people are okay. This isn't the sort of thing we're trying to strike. We're trying to strike people that are posting or putting full shows up on YouTube. That
Like
we want that
Wheezy,
done.
Wheezy's great. I think Wheezy's great. And the other girl who looks like Eugenie, she's great.
Mini Portable.
She does. She looks like. I was scrolling one day and legit thought it was her. I messaged Eugenie, and when I legit thought this was you doing, I was like, "What are you doing streaming?"
So let's go to Jeff. What's your chicken shit for the week, mate?
My chicken shit, and I have two. One is the John Cena title is there's just seems to be no thought. It's not clear what's going on there, and I want a little more transparency. A bit more seriously is 2 days ago, Cultaholic Wrestling, which was born out of What Culture Wrestling with Adam Pacitti and a group of other friends, removed 7 editors from their channel have gone. Like they've just been removed. They've been given their marching orders. And this is a shame because this is a reflection on the state of creativity and in wrestling. Because whether you like or not Cultaholic, you don't hear about 7 people just not getting the experience they need. And it's just a bit of a shame. And I'm my heart goes out to those people because Cultaholic have done some fun work.
Yeah, absolutely. Todd, chicken shit for the week.
My chicken. It was a story I actually heard on, I think it was What Culture, the other day. They were talking about like MVP on his podcast, and he was going hard at Triple H because he really does not like Triple H, like to the point where like he calls him Triple Nose and all that stuff. And he was arguing about like they were comparing him and the Undertaker, and he was like, "Oh, the Undertaker's made way more people. Like, who has Triple H made? He's made Chris. He's made Randy Orton, and he made Batista. I don't know who else." Then I was like, I stopped and went, "Yeah, but mate, who the fuck have you ever made? Like, seriously, who has MVP ever made? Like, think about it deeply. He has worked everywhere. New Japan, AEW, WWE. Who can you say off the top of your head he has worked with that he has made? Because it sure as hell isn't the people he's working with now.
Oh, no. They were known commodities already.
Not Matt Hardy. Like, who the fuck has that guy ever made in his life? Except money. That's the only thing he's ever fucking made. It shocks me when I see that sort of stuff. Like, I understand he's upset because he thought that the Hurt business should have been pushed to the moon, and then what? Guess what? A lot of fucking people in that company could have been pushed to the moon, and they're not. And a lot of people got over it.
Yeah,
there were a lot of dudes, and like you fucking don't throw bricks at fucking houses when you don't have a fucking wall yourself, brother. Like, you've not made anybody. I've never seen you made any. God knows, Shelton, Cedric's doing great now, isn't he? Because he worked with you.
Well, there you go.
Sorry.
Look, no, you're all good, mate. That's what chicken shit's for, right? Alex Fireheart's chicken shit is WWE cutting all this talent only for higher ups to get massive pay rises. Not unique to wrestling at all, but some dodgy timing. Fuck capitalism, basically. Yep. Fully agree there. Mine's simple is I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to see Asuka wrestling all the time anymore, right? She's had a great career, and I'm just bummed out that, she's someone who I would watch a match every day if I could. Like, anytime she was on TV, she was doing something entertaining. So it just sucks that she's not going to be on TV once a week anymore.
The counterpoint to that is the person behind Asuka has had a lot of issues.
Oh, absolutely.
With people stalking her and people invading her privacy. Again, showing that some wrestling fans can be shit. So if she's more peaceful and living a better life in Japan, great. Go.
And to be clear, this is
because I don't. Sorry.
Macho Man Andy Savage says chicken shit was seeing Frankie B's Instagram video this week. It sounds like a really scary few weeks that she's been through. Fingers crossed she's on the mend. I'm not familiar with this one. Jamie, do you have some more info?
So just before she was due to come back from the States, she got ill, got on the plane, came home, immediately had to go into hospital, put into ICU because her kidneys were starting to shut down. And then it turned out that she had pretty bad pneumonia as well. So it was a whole bunch of compounding issues that she was facing, and has now kind of had to no wrestling, no physical exertion, because she's obviously out of hospital now and able to post this video, but she can't really do anything for the foreseeable future. So
thank God she got back to Australia though. Jesus.
Yeah. If she got that sick in the States, ruined.
Financially ruined.
Yep. Or even got sick on the plane, because it's not like it's a 2-hour flight.
No.
So thankfully she made it back to Australia and got the health care that she needed.
Oh yeah, but the timing on that has got to be so frustrating after she's just, had at Coliseum one of the best performances that I've ever seen from her, and then going and doing all that networking in the US and then back and immediately can't wrestle is that's a horrible circumstance to be in. So,
did she do the Bailey camp as well? Was she also in the Bailey camp? No,
but she did a bunch of like ROH stuff. So like she had got a lot of experience, but yeah. So now she's sick and hopefully able to recover well.
Yeah, best wishes going out. Yeah,
Rosie,
so
that's too funny. That's too funny, Rosie. Much love to Frankie B from all of us. We hope you recover well. And you're in our thoughts, mate. And hope you're okay.
Absolutely. Well, let's turn it around. Let's get a bit more positive and talk about our
This
chicken salad.
salad really is the bomb.
Jamie, what did you enjoy this week, mate?
Mark Davis winning at Fairway to Hell was the obvious, I think, show chicken salad.
Yep.
My thing that I really loved this week was the opening segment of Dynamite today when MJF arrived at the venue, walking through the backstage area, running into all of the baldies. Where was Todd?
I was at work. Sorry.
Yeah, it was just so fun. It was a great way to like play into the potential storyline, him being so scared of losing his hair, and there's a lot of bald people that work at AEW apparently.
Yeah, there you go. Jeff, chicken salad for the week.
I'm going to contradict you in the biggest way possible, Lachlan, and this is said with all due respect. My chicken salad is the way Asuka went out. It was pure class. It was absolutely beautiful. Yes, I think she should have had something in ring. It would have been nice to have like a bit more of a vaulted send-off, but if she's planning on coming back, I understand why that could be seen as a bait and switch.
Didn't she kind of get that at Backlash?
Backlash. But as in everyone surrounding the ring, and like they did with AJ and like they did with Cena. And the part of that, my upset with that is that they seem fine to do it for the guys retiring, but it would have been nice to see nonetheless.
I guess it's only a semi-retirement.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
She
Is
may
I think
come
the
back.
reason is that we might still see a couple more.
Yeah,
because the reports are she's still going to be involved with the company as well. So
but absolutely incredible match to finish with, a beautiful aftermatch moment where she was clearly very emotional, and just a really nice segment between her and Io on Monday as she was leaving, and she's gone back just to the stripe, which she's done all that makeup herself for all of those years, all of those amazing animal visage things. She's done that herself. That's not been done by someone else, and that's just incredible dedication to her art form. And I'm gonna miss her, but I'm happy she went out on her own terms and stopped before the body started to take its toll. Rosie, go away.
I'll also say that I just had the thought of what if she becomes an Undertaker figure who shows up a month and a half before WrestleMania and has a challenger for WrestleMania and just like becomes the women's division version of that, where when that music goes off in February, everyone's just going to explode. Like, that'd be cool.
I also the one thing I would have liked is if Asuka had turned around to Io and said, "You were ready for Asuka." That just would have had me even more of a mess than I am now, because I'm quite teary about Asuka leaving, because she's been amazing.
Todd, chicken salad.
This is probably going to be a controversial one, but it's also No Soul Roses. I really like Minihausen because, do you know why? We worked ourselves into a shoot. All of us, like the whole wrestling community. It's going to be John Cena. It's going to be CM Punk. Who did he turn up with at WrestleMania?
Minihausens.
There's a Minihausen. So why the fuck wouldn't he have one as a partner?
Yeah.
And just the way, I love the way he sold it as well. Like, as soon as he came out and he was looking up, and then it came out that it was little, looks down, looks at the camera and just goes, shit.
Yeah. It was great.
It was great. And not to mention, like, possibly one of the better wrestlers on the card.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Mr. Bebo was fucking awesome.
And, like...
Todd has found a new appreciation for smaller wrestlers over the last month or two.
WWA has opened my eyes up to minis.
Yeah, No Soul Rose says, jokes aside, Minihausen put on a damn show. Dude can go.
Huh.
Well, he's also he used to be El Torito. It's El Torito, the same wrestler.
Margarita Sagrada. Yeah.
Mascarita Sagrada.
100%, Rosie.
I mean, we didn't really discuss this, but there's no doubt that Backlash was so much better than WrestleMania Mania. You know, it was just such a better show. Jamie's sitting there going, double or nothing.
Everyone was right. He was El Torito, but he was Masquerita Sagrada for so much more time than he was El Torito, guys.
Of course he was.
He was El Torito for half a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and he's been know him from that reference.
How do people not know Masquerita Sagrada? Look at his Lucha Underground run. It was unreal. Anyway.
He is unreal. He's unreal.
Thanks, Todd. Yep, well, that was mine as well, so that's been taken, as was, the show one. So I'll just say a couple of little ones that I had for my chicken salad. I liked the Naraku debut for NXT, the former Evil. Like, he just wrestles like a WWE guy. We all knew that. So it looked great. I was happy with it. And I also
loved his line that he said, "I'm absolutely evil."
Yes, really good. That's and look, No Soul Rose is absolutely correct. WLC, one of the goated WWE matches, one of the best matches ever.
He's also correct here too when he says
backlash. The other chicken salad that I had was, I love when WWE is internally consistent and they remember Jamie's out. I love when WWE remembers its internal stories. So the fact that Gunther and Heyman were interacting based on things that had happened at WrestleMania several months ago, and that feeding into Gunther coming to SmackDown, I really liked that. I like that wrestling is.
I like how they made it clear that this was what Gunther wanted him to do.
Yes.
Not like there's going to be a Brock Lesnar match coming up. He wants a match against Lesnar. It was always like, no, this is what he wanted. Okay, Stop thinking that Lesnar's coming back because this was the favor.
Yeah, this was what we were getting to. So I liked that a lot. I thought that was really good. And you know what else I like a lot? Doing this show, Making Chicken Salad, every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/WrestleRadio Australia. I think it's a lot of fun, and you should, everyone in the chat, whether it's No Soul Rose or Wild Angel or Beetle Bailey or Alex Fireheart or Macho Man Andy Savage, all these people in the chat who make it an absolute delight. I want you listening out there to join them. Twitch.tv/WrestleRadio Australia every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And subscribe. It's free. Do it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch, Podcast Addict, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're on Apple Podcasts and you can give us a 5-star review, that's also free. And it helps us get into more ears. And it doesn't take long, and it actually really makes a difference to us. We would really appreciate if you actually did go and do that. It's amazing. Social media as well, at WrestleRadio AU on Twitter and Instagram, WrestleRadio Australia on Facebook. You can follow us individually. We've got at Beast Eastman for Todd, at Lachlan Albert for me, at Jamie Apps Media for Jamie, at Wrestle_Brainia to follow what Jeff's doing with WrestleBrainia. WrestleBrainia is a time, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, WrestleBrainia is a great time. As you may be aware, Lachlan, there are some things afoot. Further to our online discussion the other day, I can't afford you. I'm sorry. That price is just too much. You are not worth $250,000 for an hour's work. Look,
all you got to do is sell 150 tickets at $500 each, and you'll be fine.
We've got some fun things to announce in the back half of this year. Keep an eye on our socials.
And Jamie, should we also be following at Paria Magazine?
Yes, that would be good if you want to watch. Todd and I watch some Ring of Honor this weekend. Also buy trading cards, buy a magazine, listen to podcasts. All of the craziness that I make is over there.
Yeah, and if you're in the buying mood, you can buy some merch of Wrestle Radio Australia. Go to Redbubble, REDBUBBLE, Redbubble. Search for Wrestle Radio Australia. Our merch comes up there. The proceeds don't go to us. They go to Beyond Blue and Gotcha for Life, which are charities that support mental health here in Australia, which is really important. No Soul Rose says, great show, guys. You ever just think, I wonder where my nearest public rock wall is, then never act on it? Bye. See you later, Rose.
So there you go. That is just a small taste of what fucking watch-alongs are like with that man.
I've wondered where it is.
I'm so glad that I've never commentated a show with Rose. That'd go totally off the rails.
Too many ringers.
Speaking of merchandise, because that's the trail that I was on. I am wearing a lovely Strong 94 shirt today. Ooh, check that out. Lovely. You can get that from kickout.com.au. That's right, kickout.com.au has merch of your favorite Queensland wrestlers and wrestlers from around the country. If you're a wrestler and you'd like your merch on there, send a message to them via their Instagram page. But if you're just looking for merch, kickout.com.au is a great place to get it. What was that you were going to add there, Jamie?
What?
What? Jamie was just no. I will say that there's no watch along this Friday night because I'm doing the Ring of Honor watch along, and also because Rosie is working at the Swans game, so I didn't think it was right.
We've also got the tour. So the tour's on tomorrow night. So we shouldn't do a watch along. Everyone can watch the
World Series
tour,
Wrestling.
World Series Wrestling,
But
exactly.
What I was saying is that basically our next one is the last WWA pay-per-view. So it wouldn't be right to watch it along without him because he's been on the journey for pretty much all of them. So we're going to do that next week. Also next week, we will be reviewing EPW and PCW Royal Rumble on this show on Thursday night. Keep your eyes glued to our socials for when the full episode or the full interview with Mitch from AllStar Wrestling drops. I'm going to talk with the boys after this and see if we want to give Hassan a decent amount of time to be able to, for us to be able to sit down and record with him, so they get his side out as well. Because I think it's only fair.
Absolutely. Jeff, anything else you've got to mention, mate?
No. I'm looking forward to being at MCW in a couple of weeks. That ATO against the Water Rapids match. I'm just so keen for that.
That's what we forgot to mention. Those two are going to Japan.
Yes, they are too. And apparently they also announced Untouchables ATO coming up at EPW.
Untouchables ATO 2 just got announced at EPW, during the show, I think. So,
damn.
Yeah, it's going on. Jamie, anything else to plug?
Just watch-alongs for me and Peggy every Thursday for Dynamite. Come and have a lot of silly fun.
Yeah, that's it. Silly fun's the name of the game. Honestly, if you see one of us at a wrestling show, please come along and say hello. That's the thing I want to emphasize because we love seeing you guys. I know that Todd got stopped at the shops the other day by someone who wanted to say hi. Please do say hello if you see us because we love doing this for you guys,
To be fair, I was dressed the way I normally dress, and I was literally looking at WWE figures at the time. So I was kind of in the environment to be
putting
spotted.
yourself in the right situations to someone to recognize you.
Just happened to be there. Todd's been at that shopping for 6 months hoping someone recognizes him.
I was such a dickhead. After I walked away, I'm just like, it was really nice. But I wonder how they picked. Then I'm like, hey, dickhead, you literally had a CM Punk figure in your hand when you couldn't have looked more like someone involved in wrestling.
Before we forget, I would like to mention a couple of people asked what the noise was. I was doing the interview with the Black Diamonds and also the one with Sam, Ben, and Breakfast while the show had finished. So they were pushing the chairs down. Which was a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
The next
we're gonna have to get you some. We're gonna have to get you some lab mics. I think we've got a spare ones.
The guys are going to do. They're going to put me in a quieter room next time at PCW either way, so we can do it. Andy, you should say hi. I don't see myself in the street that often, so if you do, that's one of us. But yeah,
Jeff sees himself in the sheet.
No, Jeff's just always at the lasagna place.
Yeah, he's a 1-800 lasagna. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah,
give him a handshake. He loves handshakes, evidently.
That's why. That's why we had the noise.
That's what we call a callback.
That's a very good callback, Todd.
Look, we are closing in on a 3-hour show, so I'm going to pull the brake on this train before it runs away on us. On behalf of Todd Eastman, Jeff Setti, and Jamie Apps, I've been Lachlan Albert. Till next time, have a good one.
No one's ready for Jamie.
Or a handshake.
Trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is